There you go.
Hello. Everyone had everyone had probably just turned up their headphones to full because I was really quiet, and then you're like, there you go.
We're also probably a little hot because I think we turned ourselves down to about 65
Yes. Right.
and did all the gain ever in OBS.
Yeah, the microphone has been moved to a different port on the computer. Okay, right.
Levels.
Yeah, no, further.
Lower.
Lower. Lower. Too low. Lower.
About there? Yeah,
Probably.
about there. That'll do.
That'll do.
Excellent.
Send it.
I shall return to the coffee station.
Okay. I will.
I had your mug. It was in my hands.
I can't help you with this. I don't have it.
Ah.
Everyone is just like, oh, you're so unorganized. I'm just like, you don't know what it's like, sir. All right. Okay, I think we're nearly there. Hello, everyone. Hello. All right, there we go. Right, had a weird oddity there. OBS had crashed, but it hadn't. It hadn't crashed, but it had come up with a message saying that it crashed. So I was like, okay. And as soon as I clicked on OK, then it crashed. So, and also the microphone was plugged into a different port. So Windows was just like, I've never seen this before. It's on a different USB port.
Yes.
Right. What are you seeking?
Your mug.
My mug. Oh, you still lost it?
I picked it up. I had it in my hands. It's not in my pockets. No.
Oh, here it is. You covered it up with toilet with kitchen towel.
Excellent. You covered it with the toilet. Oh no.
Right, I will
Anyway.
entertain the chat. Go and
Good.
make the coffee.
Excellent. Fabulous.
Hi everyone, welcome to the very entertaining podcast. So, right, hello. Okay, right, how are we doing? I'm going to check the YouTube dashboard just to make sure that everything is good. Excellent condition. Good, we are very much live. Hello. Right, I'm going to change that to that, and I'm going to change that to that, and I'm going to do that to there. There we go. All right. We're good. Cold in the shop. It sure is cold in the shop because I'm too cheap to turn on the heating because electric heating is really expensive. And I'm like, no thanks, I'll just put on another layer. So yes, right. Hello everyone. Do we have an update on last week's PC? Yep. So customer took the new motherboard. So new motherboard has been fitted and that PC is now done. It's still in the shop, but it's now awaiting collection. Due to the nature of its intermittent faults, I wanted to keep it in for another few days just so I could do a bit more burn-in testing and also like switch it off, leave it off for 24 hours, then come back in and turn it on and just make sure it would start first time. Because sometimes you'll get a computer that works just fine, but then if you unplug it and leave it for half an hour, then plug it in, then it doesn't work and stuff like that. So I was like, no, we're being certain. This is the last time. So yes. Oh yeah, Caradog's mic is still hot. I'm just going to mute him while he's making kitchen ASMR. There we go. So yes. Where was I? Yeah, so that computer is now done. And yeah, good result all round, to be honest. It looks really good with that MSI motherboard in it. I was actually quite happy while I was fitting that. You know, I put it in there and just finished it up, and I'm like, this just looks a lot better. This is the kind of motherboard that should be in a computer like this. So yeah, it's very cool. So yes, what you need is some merch layers. Yes, next conversation. So yeah, right. Okay, I think that's everything in the chat. So yes, what are we going to come up with today? Right, so today, primary goal today is to have a look at this graphics card. This is a Gigabyte Aorus. This is an Aorus 3080 12 gig that's water blocked. And this, I don't do graphics card repair, but this one came in and the customer gave symptoms where basically the symptoms are that it's saying that the 12 volt connectors aren't connected. And I'm like, okay, well, that sounds like it might be something simple then. Knowing my luck, there's a chip on there that's dead or something, but might be something interesting. If nothing else, because it's a power input issue, it's probably something that we can at least approach and maybe diagnose. So we're going to have a look at it. One of the other issues is because it's water blocked, it's difficult to do testing with this. So we've got the test bench on the bench, and Caradog is building up a loop, so we actually have a testing thing for it. And at the same time, it's also an excuse for him to fit his new AlphaCool water block to this, because we're sort of also we're building up a custom loop test setup on here. So when we have water block stuff, we have a ready to go custom loop basically. So we're also kind of looking at that. And if all of this fails, then there's a couple of repair jobs that we'll just sort of have a look at while we natter, basically. Stick it in the air fryer. That would be the sensible thing to do. But we like to do things the hard way on this channel. So yeah. Okay. Caradog is building up a coffee. He sure is. Yep. Right. Are you ready? Are you going back to the kitchen, or are we good?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I'll unmute you then. Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
That way, yes.
Oh, yeah. Was the light slightly in frame? Yeah.
Yes.
I
I've
see.
clearly pointed the camera slightly more this way than normal,
Yeah.
because normally it's not.
Yeah. I was just I like how you were just like because of mirroring of stuff, you were just like that light. Yes, yeah, that's the one. Right, yeah.
It was also the fact I was making sure it was actually that light and something just hadn't fallen somewhere.
1035 for the most obscure reference. I'll give an internet cookie to anyone who understands this reference. Specifically with 1035. Right. Okay, right. How much does the store owe Caradog? Well, these things belong to Caradog. He buys them and they just live in the shop. That is the arrangement. Are we allowed the mulled cider, or do we have to heat that up? Or are you just going to have it anyway?
Both. I mean, we can commit crimes and use a microwave.
Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, we need to figure out how to warm the mulled cider.
Furmark.
Custom loop water cooling, yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Like, cider as coolant. Has anyone done that?
If this was food grade tubing, then perhaps, but it will leave a horrid vinyl taste in anything.
Yeah. Yeah. However, just hypothetically though, like everyone does like obscure coolants. People, no doubt, like we've had tea-cooled computers and stuff like that, but has
Yes.
anyone done cider? Can we say it's the world's first cider-cooled computer? Just as a really dumb YouTube first thing. Chuck the pouch in the kettle.
Actually, immersion heating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking of putting it in like a pot of warm water on a stove or something.
Yeah. Oh, you have a stand.
Yeah.
What the hell kind of standoff is that?
I don't know. There's some weirdo ones in that iFixit kit, and I'm just like, I'll take their word for it that screwdriver is relevant because they decided to put it in a kit, you know.
What did you say? Did you say 6? Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Ugh.
It is not 6.
Was that too
Probably an
small or
8.
too big? Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was thinking it might be an 8, but 8 looks very big in a laptop, and it looks very small on a pump.
Yes.
Cool. Right. There was a vodka-cooled computer. That actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, at least it was the screwdriver and not the pump.
At least this is the broken one.
Yeah. Cheddar Valley cooled. Oh, Cheddar Valley's horrible stuff.
What is it?
It's a cider.
Oh.
It's been you know the beer festivals that we've been to down in Gill a few times.
Yes.
It regularly pops up there as one of their ciders. It's the proper neon orange cider. I don't know if you've spotted it there before. And it's horrid stuff. I can't stand it. I've had it a couple of times. I'm like, oh, like I'll finish this because I've bought it, but I'm not ordering this again, you know. And I'm glad I only bought a half. All that sugar inside will be brilliant for dissipating heat and keeping the blocks nice and clear. All right. Strongbow versus that. What is worse? Ooh, that's a tough one actually, because Strongbow's crime is that of mediocrity. Like, it's not unpleasant.
Oh,
it's
no.
just soul-crushingly boring.
Oh.
Uh,
Well, we'll have to fish out the other chain. There should be another
yeah.
chain.
Oh, there is a. Yeah, there's a thing there. Yeah, we can solve that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it ain't. Strongbow is awful. Well, like I say, I don't think it tastes unpleasant. It's just dull.
Idiot.
It's just boring. It doesn't have a flavour. Whereas Cheddar Valley is. I think it would be a bit strong to say that it offends me. But suffice to say, whenever I drink it, I'm like, no, that's not for me. That one.
This cider is offensive.
Yeah. Okay, right. Yeah, part of me wants to get this show on track, and part of me is like, there's a car crash happening right next to me, and I'm trying not to rubberneck. You know, he's getting there. Okay, right. Focus. Right.
Anyone who expected competency.
A flagon of scrumpy. If we're going down that route, we should do White Lightning. And for those of you who don't know, White Lightning, White Lightning is like a really cheap battery acid, buy it in 2-litre bottles cider that you will find on the bottom shelf kind of thing in supermarkets. I'm not quite sure why White Lightning exists other than to be drunk by 13-year-olds.
And the Scottish?
I wouldn't know. So yeah, something to drink on a park bench at 9 a.m.
Oh boy.
Well, I'm glad you're not in that place anymore, Si. But you know, that's why he doesn't drink cider. Yeah. No apples in White Lightning. It wouldn't surprise me. Okay. You legit haven't been able to buy White Lightning in Wales for a few years since there was a whole minimum pricing thing.
Oh yeah.
What was it? Too cheap for alcohol or
It's
something?
too cheap per unit.
Oh no.
So it's not a standard size.
Oh, interesting. Okay, fair enough. Yep. All right. I stand corrected.
You noodly bastard, stay over there. There you go. However, that's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it'll do for now. Yeah.
Indeed.
So what Caradog is actually fighting with is a jerry-rigged pump res mount from the EK setup that he was putting the Barrow pump res combo into, but apparently the Barrow one has a wider diameter at the bottom. I thought it was standard. So yeah, however, it'll do for now. We're going to order an actual 120mm to pump res combo mount thing.
Majiggy.
Yeah, that's slightly annoying because it means we've actually got to find one that is actually compatible with the Barrow in that case.
Yeah, I'll probably go onto the plate here.
Yeah. Oh right, yeah, that's also acceptable then. Yeah, I thought they just had an unspoken agreement because that's like the quote unquote the D5 style mount. So I just thought they had an unspoken agreement that it was just a fixed diameter form factor. So yeah. Right. Okay. Right. So yes, I'm going to move this chair out of the way. If I may.
Be gone.
And as a special treat, I'll get the other stool just so there's one available to you as well. Caradog can have a chair sometimes as a treat.
Do we have any screws and nuts? Because obviously there's nothing for this to bind.
We don't have any nuts, but when I want to solve this problem, I usually get some screws and some standoffs, and I put standoffs at the back to function as a nut.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Because I do have some standoffs, so yeah. I don't have the correct solution to this, but I have a solution to this.
Excellent. May I have some screws to go into some standoffs to...
Right. 1, 2.
Only 2 will probably go in.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Right, what are you? You are metric.
Cable tie everything. Yes, true.
Right. And
Excellent. It will need to be reasonably long.
like to the tune of that long.
That'll do.
Oh, I had one in my fingers and then I dropped it.
This is going to be exceedingly wonky.
And maybe that one. Try that out. Put that there. Okay. Okay. Water cooling the tester. Hello. Yes. Sort of. Yes. Also, I'm going to tighten up this chair because this chair is actually going to fall apart, which is why I keep sitting down on it and then getting up. Hello. Yes, we're organised on this show. We're always ready.
We're ready for anything.
Well, isn't the jank part of the fun, though?
Yes.
Right. Yes, so for those of you who are just tuning in, we're going to do some work. We've got a 3080 that we're going to do a repair attempt on, but it's water blocked, so we're also just setting up a custom loop test rig, so we can so we actually have something we can plumb this 3080 into. And this also just doubles up as Caradog testing his Alpha Cool water block that he has procured. And yeah, we're sort of slowly setting up this test bench into a custom loop test bench as well.
Banal. Yes. Effectively.
All right.
Eventually.
That will probably do.
Where are all of the little probe mounts on here?
Okay. Right, I'm going to sit down and read the chat.
There's one.
Still never had to tighten my stools. Do you ever sit on them though?
Oh, there you go.
Also, though, it depends if you've got exactly the same ones or not, Si, because these ones have just got an issue where you just cannot tighten them enough.
So yeah, actually take that out.
Yeah, failing that, I could just like buy some Loctite and just try Loctiting the nuts to hell. That might work. No pressure testing. We could get what might be worth picking up one of those at some. Yeah, I think pressure. I guess if you're doing a good build for a actual serious built computer, I think pressure testing is probably a good idea because it might reveal a potential issue before it makes a mess. But for a test bench, it doesn't matter because also this thing is going to get bits are going to get taken off all the time anyway. So yeah. Okay. Would be more confident in an AIO for test rig. Yeah, I mean we've already got those, but you can't plumb a custom water blocked graphics card into an AIO, or rather, you know, not without breaking the tubing. In which case, it's not really an AIO anymore. It's now just a custom loop with extra steps. So yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll keep that on hand, I guess. Cool. So,
good.
Right. So the graphics card. Graphics card doesn't detect things. So I guess the first thing we need to do is just to
make sure it's not shorted.
Yeah. We need to make sure it's not shorted, and then we need to plug it in and find out what's and reproduce the fault firstly. We don't need to actually plumb it in to do that because there's no point in filling the water block knowing that it is allegedly not going to work. So because like we can switch it on for a minute or so with no cooling on it, and because it's got thermal mass. But we'll need to, if we actually get it to a point where we think it's going to work, that's when we'll need the custom loop on hand so we can actually put a load on it. So I'm going to grab the multimeter. and I will buzz out the inputs. Where's the multimeter gone? Oh, it's on the front counter.
Is this the multi-chain? That is the multi-chain.
Multi-chain.
Pass.
We both went to the same place, yeah.
Oh yes. Also, room botter specular blokes.
Oh yeah. I don't know what this is, but it looks nice. Caradog went to Lidl and bought room butter speculas bloches,
Yes.
which you reckoned was Polish.
Maybe.
So yes,
All I know is it's for spectacular blokes.
I see.
And I am a spectacular bloke.
Yeah. Do you have quick disconnects? We don't on this.
No, my method of quick disconnect is dumping the water out.
Yeah. Yeah.
For this.
I would like quick disconnects are they're okay, but
They're good. They're good.
yeah,
And like,
I like the idea of them.
certainly
I just
for anything like this, it makes sense to have them. And I want to get them, but it's just a case of I've never really thought about it.
yeah. I guess it would be handy because we could.
I mean, Christ, it took a year for me to remember to order tubing.
Yeah, I tell you what would be good for this is to have.
Quick disconnects at the end of these tubes so the block can come out and be replaced, and also on the GPU so the GPU can come off and be
Yeah,
replaced.
that would be the way to do it. I was trying to formulate some kind of elaborate thing with T-pieces and taps, so you could open up an additional path in the loop, that like an optional path through the graphics card or not, which is kind of how Linus set up his PC now. Because like, have you been watching the?
No.
Okay, yeah. So
I have not watched any LTT in the
A
best
while.
part of a year.
fair enough. Yeah. Well, he's got his pool cooled computer project is actually now done, where all of his rigs are now in a rack, and that is cooled by water that is heat exchange cooled by the pool. So infinite thermal mass kind of thing.
Ah, interesting.
And it does actually work. It actually works very well. Like, it's extremely elaborate and everything.
Of
Like,
course.
it's like, yeah, it's one of these things where it's just like, we're not saying this is a good idea, but it does actually work, and it actually works very well, you know.
Yes.
However, yeah, his
that
personal computer though, he left the RADs and stuff in there, so if he wanted to pull it out and run it standalone, he can open certain taps inside there to then run the loop through its internal radiators. And
that's
pump.
pretty
So yeah,
nice.
and like, it's not a great setup in that how that works, but I like the concept of what he was doing there to make sure that his computer wasn't now dependent on having an external cooling system. So yeah, kind of neat.
Okay.
But yes, where quick disconnects, going to want a bunch of those. Yeah, no, not yet, but soon, TM.
Yeah.
Yes, Google's blocking YouTube for 5 seconds every time you're not using Chrome. That is false. That is happening to some people who are
Some of the
using some ad blockers. It is nothing to do with running Chrome or not. That has been thoroughly debunked. That was the original headline, and no one has been able to consistently prove it. There are some people that are seeing 5-second delays when using certain ad blockers, but it is browser agnostic. So yeah. Okay.
There.
Oh, you just checking there? Yeah, flip it over and then do it. No, it's kind of on the low side. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah. Should probably update that at some point.
Yes. I want to see what it does.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, right. I'm going to put this
Right.
there.
Tubing.
Very well. I'll let you carry on. Right.
Excuse all the noises.
Right, I'm going to do a very quick buzz test on the 12-volt inputs for this.
Oh boy.
Does it smell of hose?
That is reasonably pungent.
Yeah, that's not the smell that I was expecting.
No.
Sorry, can I smell that again?
May I sniff your hose?
It's kind of faint now. A lot of it was just in the bag and it's just dissipated all of a sudden. But that was that wasn't. I don't know what that was, but it's not what I expected. It was,
Right.
It's not the plastic rubbery smell that I was anticipating.
No.
Weird. Oh well. Right. Okay, so I'm going to quickly buzz test this. I can never remember the pin out of PCIe 8 pins, so I'm going to just buzz them all until I find something that makes sense. Right, so that is common. Right, the 12 volt input is not shorted. There is 15K on the sense pin.
Good.
And that is ground anyway. And on the other connector, the other connector has, oh, interesting, 4K across the 12 volt input, which is not a short circuit, but that's not what we saw on the first connector. Unless, let's just see, that might be charging capacitors though, so yeah, no, that's just settling, that's fine. Yeah, I'm getting the same results on both now. So yeah, no, the 12 volt inputs are not shorted, and that's kind of what I expected, because otherwise the guy would have had a very bad time when he tried to connect this to anything. The computer does turn on with this card connected, but the card is throwing up the 12 volt connectors apparently are not plugged in. Well, it doesn't say that on the screen, it just gives no output, and the LEDs were red, I think he said.
Don't forget that basically nothing gives the no 12 volt connected anymore.
Okay, yeah, fine, yeah. Either way, yeah, we're going to have to plug this in, just see for ourselves. The other thing that bothers me is there's just a little bit of gunge on it, but that might just be a spot of water that has just evaporated. I don't think the card is liquid damaged, but as with anything that's been water cooled, there are just a few tide marks on it, on the casing here and there, where it's just been in an environment where spots of water have landed. So it's like, shall I put these on the card? Those bars?
No, I need one of them for the
Okay.
pump.
Understandable. 4K on the GPU is good. Yes, for the
Ah,
resolution.
there we go.
Is today a cider or a Bailey stream?
That's what I needed for that.
Oh, neat.
Is
Yeah.
that. I could have sworn there was one, but I was just like, where have you gone? Where did you come from? Where did you go?
All right. What's the difference between the VC99 or 97? I have no idea. Why not Fluke? Because Fluke costs about 10 times the amount of this. And will do basically the same thing. The only reason why you buy a Fluke is because you're the US military, or you need to be insured.
And you're writing specs
Yeah.
for things and saying,
Yeah, if you need to be spec compliant, because you're doing, like, if you're in product development and you're writing a spec sheet for something, and you need something that has a guaranteed certification of accuracy,
and
then,
also the ability to actually get the thing calibrated.
Yeah, so at that point you might want a Fluke, or again, if you're like an electrician and you need insurance, you're not required to have a Fluke, but if you tell your insurance company I have a Fluke, they will stop asking questions, which is partially nonsense. There are plenty of other brands of meter that are completely acceptable, but if you say you have a Fluke, no one asks questions. However, for just general electronics, DIY and enthusiast stuff, Flukes are just extremely overpriced, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think the cheapest Fluke you can buy is something like £100 or something like that, and it does like DC volts and that's it.
Huh. I presume that's off of that.
Must be.
Interesting. Okay, fine.
Yeah. It might be possible to bodge that on, but we've just spent half an hour dicking around with that, so.
Odd. Yeah, I'm looking for the screws, the actual caps for those barbs.
Oh, I see, yeah. It's all in there somewhere, yeah.
There's another one!
I don't know why we have all of these.
Aha, there they are.
Ah, good.
That's what I was looking for.
Electroboom making a line of merch, like multimeters that occasionally randomly zap you. Oh. He must just, like, Electroboom has a deal with circuit specialists, I think, who provide him with the green meters that you see in his videos are a decent brand of multimeter. I forget the name of them. I think they begin with P. But yeah, he must just have a box of those because he routinely explodes one on video just for the sake of it. Although that much being said, because they're good ones, theoretically he's just exploding the fuse in them.
We shouldn't need anything else from that for now.
Yeah. Did I grab any Black Friday bargains? No, I didn't look because I've got no money, so I didn't want the temptation.
I'm going to look, given that obviously stuff's going to go on until Cyber Monday.
Yeah, I suppose I should probably take a look over the weekend, just in case there's something where I'm just like, I'll buy this because I need to buy SSDs anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say the thing that makes sense to me is just buying SSDs.
Yeah. EEV blog are nice multimeters. Yeah, the other ones are rebadged Bryman, except for the 121GW, which is his custom one. However, that has a lot of bells and whistles that the average person doesn't need. It's a good multimeter, but it's also just a very all singing, all dancing multimeter. And as I say, it's not to say that it's bad or anything, but I'm not saying don't buy it. But yeah, it has a lot of features that the vast majority of people don't require, basically. You got a few bits for builds, nothing crazy, but you did manage a 6650 XT build for 600. Damn, that's pretty good. Yeah, 2 terabyte NVMe's, only one's on offer. Yeah, that's what I expected. Like, I'm mostly buying 500s and 1 terabytes, and they're already at a price floor. So I'm not expecting them to be, if they are on a deal, that's a case of they let the price move up by £5 and then discounted it down to the normal price again. You know.
Big one. Over there. Oh. Before they go clattering somewhere.
Hey, Ruslan Lambrada, thank you for the €5. Hello and welcome, and I hope you're having a nice day. 4 terabyte are pretty cheap, but are hard selling normal builds. Yeah, I mean, define pretty cheap. Like, it's got to be like 150, 160 for a 4 terabyte at the moment.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, yeah, that is pretty cheap for 4 terabytes of storage.
Yes.
Yeah. I think 2 terabytes are really nice at the moment. But on the other hand, though, I'm in an odd spot with my drive setup on my PC. I can't remember if I've said this on stream before, but I've gone into a new era of configuration for my PC, where most people have a dedicated games drive, but I've actually moved my entire Steam library back onto C, because I'm like, the Steam library is expendable, so why don't I put it on C drive, which is considered the expendable drive? Anything that is downloaded now goes on C, and my personal data, that is the one that goes on the separate SSD. Because that's the one that actually needs to be backed up, or I might want to pull out and plug into a different system, you know. So now I'm in a weird spot, whereas most people are like, oh, small drive for Windows, big drive for storage. I've actually flipped to the other way around, where I have a big drive for Windows and games, and a small drive for my personal data, because I don't actually have a huge amount of personal data. So yeah. Can you replace the SSD on a MacBook Pro 2016? A non-touch bar 13-inch has a removable SSD. All the rest of them are soldered. You just need cheap 2 multimeters. I need to get another multimeter in general, just because I need an extra one kicking around the shop. I need to buy another Anang AN8008. Which was the one that with the red multimeter that I was using for a while. My one is faulty, so I need to replace it, and they're like £25 or something like that. So I just need to buy another one. Because it's still a multimeter that I recommend. Even though my one is faulty, I still recommend it in general. Just because it's a very cheap multimeter that has a decent amount of functionality. The only major thing that it's missing is it doesn't have a capacitance mode, so you can't use it for basic testing of capacitors. But on the flip side, like you can't really test a capacitor properly without being able to do ESR measurement. And you need an LCR meter to do that anyway. So, like, even though the Vici has capacitance mode, I barely use it. I use the transistor tester because that will tell me ESR. So
right, which is that's the out.
Yeah, my fault might just be from the mod. Yeah, that's true. I need to open mine up and demod it and see if it comes good again.
In, out, right.
But I can't remember what the issue with it was. I think it was just very spotty with its readings. It kept just now and then I would use it and it would work, and then now and then it would just give me readings that just don't make any sense whatsoever. And yeah, I can't remember what the consistency of that was. So yeah. Yeah, the EEV blog ones, they are very nice, but they're also expensive because they're quote unquote good meters. There are two kinds of multimeter. There is cheap and cheerful electronics ones, and then there are engineer meters kind of thing that are designed for actual professional use. Is the wrong term because I use mine professionally.
Precision use.
Yeah, precision use, or where safety is a factor. I don't measure high voltage stuff. The highest voltages I encounter are like maybe 30 or 40 volts on backlight rails that are 2 amp limited.
Yeah, I was going to say it's also the case of it's just like, even then that's still fine for 240 volt.
I mean, yeah, you can measure 240 volts with. I have measured 240 volts with this when I was testing something, but even still, I would be very uncomfortable plugging any meter that costs less than £100 into a main socket.
Really?
Just because, like, it probably has some kind of fuse in it, but it doesn't have like MOVs or any other backup protection in it. It's not going to have any. If all else fails.
Is that concern for the rest of the circuit or concern for you yourself?
Concern for me, basically.
Yeah, okay.
It's a matter like, it's going to have some kind of fuse in it, but again, it's going to be a very dirty. You probably won't die, but things are going to explode, kind of thing. Whereas a good one will have several redundant failure modes that just mean that whatever happens, it will break the circuit, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know.
So yes. Yes. Then again, the only thing I poke in the 240 volt one is the random fluke I have.
Yes, that's fine. Yeah.
It's like, yes, me, the idiot with the fluke.
Yeah. You've got an old Fluke 99 or something, haven't you?
75?
Oh yeah, something like that. One of the basic ones that were low cost for a Fluke, but also just have very little functionality on them. They do the main things you need to, but they just don't have useful other utilities on them. Like, this one also has some you can plug a thermal probe into this for temperature measurement. A K-type thermocouple. It's got clock counting on it, so it has a Hertz mode. It has capacitance reading on it, and it also has it does have a BJT transistor test on it, but like I've never BJT transistor, so old style transistors.
Oh, I see.
But like I've never used that in my life, so that's not really anything to write home about either.
Yeah. That tube is a lot longer than I thought it was.
Yeah. Also, I have suspicion. I think your Fluke isn't auto ranging.
I don't recall.
Yeah.
Probably.
And like auto ranging is also just really nice to have because it's just another bit of thinking that you don't have to do when you're not quite sure what. Auto range is really nice when you're not sure what measurement you're expecting to get, but you just need to see an answer and then decide for yourself whether that makes sense. Have you put the collar on that?
No, I also haven't
done
anything on the other end. No,
couldn't
that's
see
fine.
where that was connected to.
Yeah.
What PC do I have at home? My home rig is a Ryzen 5800X with a 4080. If you go to my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Nethersen, my specs are in the About page. You can also see me playing games on that at times.
Oh.
Why are you?
It's the wrong way around.
Oh, okay. Fine. Yeah.
It was just also me going, oh, because it was the second time I've stuck it on the wrong way around.
Very well.
There you go. I can tell.
Mike Jones says, auto ranging is great until your display loses a line of pixels and you can't see the decimal point anymore.
Oh, no! There you go. Fine. Good. Right.
Tell Tag you're beneath my mention. Let's see. You think the multimeter that Buildzoid has costs at least a couple of... Yeah, Buildzoid has a Siglant, I think, and he got that one specifically because it has a... It's got like 6-digit accuracy on its... it has like 6-digit accuracy on its resistance mode.
What?
And he wanted that because you can... I think he wanted to do short detection by triangulation or something like that.
But also, is that a handheld meter?
Yeah, but like I said,
it does 6-digit.
It might be 5.
Bloody hell!
But
well, it does 5 or 6.
But yeah, like it's
That's impressive.
It's a Siglant though, you know. So like it's by a brand that is usually making benchtop meters that costs 4 figures.
Oh yeah, but just the fact that it's possible to do that in a handheld.
Yes, yeah,
that is my.
That's right. Yeah, there are
surprise and
there are portable meters that will give you bench meter performance. So yeah, but on the flip side though, I'm not convinced about the wisdom of such a thing. I understood why he got it, but I don't think he actually uses it for that purpose. Because also like, his oscilloscope is probably more useful at this point for most of the stuff he does. However, because he's trying to do very high precision measurement of things, Buildzoid is the kind of person that should be buying very expensive meters.
Yeah.
So that does make sense. So yes.
Do you have a Molex power supply?
Yes.
Do you know where it is?
Yes.
And
well, I saw it during the week.
Does that mean you can place your hands on it?
It's right here. It's
Excellent.
right here. Nope. It's right. It's right. It's right. Stand by. It's right here.
Standing.
That's not it. That was the one that I was thinking of, but it's not it. It's... It's... I'm not sure where it is.
Very well.
Why can't... There was a Molex chain there.
Yeah, I know. But if you had it to hand, I was going to power the pump without turning on the PC.
Oh, I see, yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Just unplug the motherboard.
Oh yeah, but it was just a case of...
It would have been easier.
If you had it to hand,
yes.
Hence my comment of, do you know where it is?
Well, I get it. I get the picture. I get the concept.
Good. Are you prepared? Is your body ready?
I haven't been doing anything. You're the one that's preparing.
Exactly.
Yeah, when this drowns your X570 Aorus Master, that's all on you, chap. I see, right. Okay. Molex, what year is it? It's apparently, yeah, I mean, yeah, Molex does have a high current rating, although, like, SATA is good for 75 watts, and I'm like, why is your pump using more than 75 watts? So, yeah. Okay. Do-do-do. Scanning through. Right, we're all good. I assume that's tap water.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Just make sure you didn't actually just grab one of the jugs of deionized water out there.
Hell no.
Good. Well, that's why I was double checking, so I'm just like, can we not use the nice deionized water in this? It's really expensive.
Oh.
Oh. It's still good, it's still good. It's just a little leaky.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll
That's
suck it down.
unfortunate.
Hold on. Stop rocking it.
I have the problem of this.
We haven't even turned it on and it's leaking.
I forgot that is so horrifically pastorally tight to get out.
Yes. Okay, we'll just let that happen.
Yes.
That's just a thing that's going to happen. Right.
I'm just going to grab the towel.
There we go. Graham, do it.
I was trying to avoid wobbling it as well.
It bubbled and made me jump. Right. Oh no. The towel is aquaphobic and just pushed all of the water off of the counter. All right.
What shitty.
It's too dry. Okay, right.
Oops.
Where were we? You can run a GPU from SATA.
No. Let's rephrase that.
Right. Should you fill the system? Yeah. Oh yeah. We're testing the system first. Yeah, that's the plan. So yeah.
Crinkle crackle.
Okay. Have it out. All right. Please arrange that so it's like not where the water is. Okay, yeah, that's acceptable. Yeah. All right, Kronk,
It
pull
had
the
to
lever.
come this way.
All right, Kronk, pull the lever. It's making noise, but it's not pumping. What's the hold up there? This is definitely an output, right?
Should be.
I'd stop that because something's definitely wrong there.
If it isn't, that is most unfortunate.
Are these? No, of course they're not labelled because that would be sensible. Have you got the manual for that pump in the
I
box?
don't think there was a manual.
Yeah, just in case this is some stupid like
Single
probe
outlet.
only port and the probe is in the outlet port.
Yeah.
Because that's what it looks like. That's
I
probably
think that's
what's
what we
happened.
did.
We made that mistake with a pump in the past, where there were ports around the bottom that were just probe only.
There are precisely no instructions.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that that's a
Yeah.
probe only port.
Yeah. There is a
Or possibly an inlet.
warning in Cantonese.
Good. All right. Yeah, I'll just assume that those must be the wrong way around.
Yes.
All right.
Damn it! Bucket time.
Well, at least there's not a lot of fluid in there yet. Yeah. Okay. Huh. What's holding me? Okay, I'll just do that. Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. There we go. All right.
Damn it.
Reverse the polarity. Yes, that's basically what we need to do. Pretty sure those are the wrong way around. It's one of those annoying. Yeah. The actual ports on the pump are completely unlabeled, so you just need to know which way around they go. Apparently.
I mean, water comes out of it.
Yeah. However, I think that's a return port.
Fuck's sake.
All right. Cool. Not even an arrow. No, they're just unmarked.
Yeah.
Because I just had a look. I was just like, has Caradog done something really dumb? And it's like, no, they are literally unmarked.
Oh, I think we might have to plier this off.
Oh, heck. The pliers
Should be there.
Yeah. Right. Shall I ply while you hold?
Yeah, if you would be so kind.
Yeah, I'll just grab a bit of tissue just so we can at least pretend that we're not going to scrape off the paint.
Also, just avoid completely mullering it.
Where did you grip from? The narrow bit.
There,
yeah.
basically, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can't. I'm too cack-handed from this angle to do it.
What's it?
Because I'm having to do this. I'm not quite sure how it's set. I'll hold it.
There you go.
Because then I can actually hold it in such a manner that I can actually put my strength into it.
Don't hold the acrylic. Hold the actual metal pump. Just because the acrylic is a separate piece. Right?
Frickin' hell! You hand tightened these, right?
Yeah.
How?
They just kind of stick.
Yeah. We might have to get the pliers that have actually got some bite on them. That might have just moved a bit. Yeah, there we go.
Hey!
Ugh.
Success. Hacking, bloody, roughing, driven, vision.
All right, continue.
There you go. Right.
All right, there we go. We'll just buy a decent pump. I mean, the pump works really well. The last time we used this one, the pump ran like a trooper. Plus, also, what was the deal with Barrow? Barrow are a known brand, aren't they? Or
yes.
They're not. It's like this isn't a cheap Chinese pump kind of thing.
They are a known Chinese brand.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a case of Chinese, yes, but like cheap, crappy, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a hex head in the fitting. Not on these fittings. We actually had a conversation before we started streaming, because we need to get more barbs because we've got exactly the number of barbs that we need for a loop, and we want spares. And I was looking at it going, I can't believe that someone has made just completely round barbs with like there's not even two flats on it. And I said we need to make sure that we get some that actually have some flats on them, so we can actually like just get a decent pair of wrenches to do this properly. But yeah, there's literally, these are perfectly round barbs. It's a bit strange. So yes. What's the flow rate on that little thing? High.
Something ridiculously high,
yeah,
actually.
like this is...
I think it's 6...
This is not a crappy pump, people. You know,
I think it was...
This isn't garbage.
I think it was something like 1,300 litres an hour.
I mean, I don't know what is high, but...
And I was just like, that's pretty high.
However, we've run this pump before. The last time we were dicking around with a custom loop when we were testing the cheapo block. And this thing was a monster. We put water in it and it just went brrr and just pumped it through. And we were like, oh, wow, look at that. That's what they're supposed to do, you know.
Yeah.
Where's the towel? There, cool. Just making sure that we know where it is.
Yes.
Okay, second time's the charm. There we go. Yeah, you can.
Ta-da!
This is not a two-man job.
It worked.
Yeah. Is it running? No, the power supply hasn't turned on.
No.
It does this sometimes. I've seen this one do this where it's just not. I think this might be dodgy, or just I think this power supply doesn't like being switched on and off a lot. There it goes.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's the power supply that was at fault there. I've seen it do that before. Fell faster. Ooh. Now comes the time. Or I would go easy because it's about
there
to.
You go.
Yeah.
And just.
Yeah, it just needs to pump that air bubble through. It's on the way though. There we go.
There you go.
Are Eheim still making pumps? And like, I'll rephrase that. Do they actually make water cooling pumps, or are they pond pumps still? Because I used to use Eheim back in the day, but that was literally a pond pump.
Boop. I will then just waggle this around a bit.
Yes. That's a lot of air.
Yeah, there is a big air bubble at the top.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I half hoped it would be able to just...
It's doing its best. It doesn't quite have the grunt.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
Yeah. I was half hoping it would just be able to give us the
Brute force
performance
it.
last time.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, do we want to fully bleed this before... well, we need some flow, don't we? Yeah.
Oops.
It's got a little bit going. It'll
There
sort
you
it
go.
out. They're still pom-poms. That's fair. Cool. Right. So, we're going to turn on the graphics card and see what that does. We've got double 8 pins on that setup, haven't
Yeah.
we? Yep, good. So we can find out what that's doing. Cool. Then, once we've checked it, we'll need to take the block off of this, so that's all fine. Right, while you bleed that, I'm going to quickly get the bench cam, so we have that on hand, because we're going to need it. Whoop.
There we go. Got most of that. That's got most of that. Good.
Excuse me, everyone. Whoop. Hello, Mr. Spelled Nugget. And hello, Gleesha. Right, we're going to try and fix this graphics card. It's water blocked though, so we've spent the first hour getting a custom loop set up on the test bench, which has been a little bit slow going just because we've been just messing around with it largely. However, we have it running. Caradog's just bleeding it at the moment. There's a bit of an airlock that we're struggling with. However, once that gets going, we can actually test the graphics card for the faults that it has. Right, I'm going to carry on and put this about there-ish. Let's do that for now. We can start moving it about in a minute. Is that camera in the way at that point?
No.
Cool.
It's fine for me.
I'll pull it back a little bit though. Okay. Right.
Ah, yeah, there you go. That's no longer sloshing.
Put some oil on them bearings. We can hear the pump. You can hear the pump because it's at maximum pressure at the moment. Once the air runs through it, it'll quieten down.
It's also just a slightly noisy pump.
Yeah. Yeah, the pump is at full tilt and at full head pressure. Once it gets the air through, and it will actually quieten down. All right. Right, let's see. What am I looking for? Insta360 link controller.
There we go.
Turn off preview. And mini controls.
Yeah, it's a little bit, but whatevs.
Face cam with capture. Face cam with bench. Sudden zoom in. Huh? Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Where is the Animax loop?
Here we go. It's on the wall.
Cool.
Okay, right. Let's plug this thing in. Bam. Right, this is going to be a very short-lived adventure. However, we do need to see where we're starting from with this thing. If this comes on and those LEDs turn white, I'm going to be furious, because the customer was a little bit vague with the fault, and they were like, "Oh, the LEDs are coming on." I'm like, yes, but what colour? Because the LEDs turning white, that's normal. That's what they do. However, if they're turning red as opposed to white, like if they're bicolour LEDs and they're coming on red, that implies they are saying there is no power. So yeah. However, I'm fairly certain that we established that they come on and they come on red, as in the no power state.
Oh, did I turn off the supply? Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh, interesting. They flashed white and then just... Oh, they're just flashing white. Okay.
The card's RGB is having a bad time.
Yeah. All right, so flashing white, that certainly implies to me it's saying these are not connected. That's not a bicolour LED. That's a this is not connected flash.
Yeah, look at the front RGB as well.
Yeah, that's just flashing red. So yeah, maybe that is supposed to be in the
fact
light
it's
state.
flashing.
Yeah.
It's not staying on, it's not cycling.
Yeah, I mean that flashing red might indicate a error state.
What's 3 beeps? Is that GPU?
That could be GPU.
Because it's on the GPU light.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's GPU.
Yeah.
Very well. Okay. Right, so after 1 hour of messing around, we've established that this card doesn't start. So we didn't need the custom loop to tell us that. However, if we actually make any progress with this thing, we'll have a custom loop ready in order to actually test it.
Yes.
So, right, okay, I'll grab that.
Do that, and
yeah.
then I'm
If you start moving the gubbins, and we can actually get into a position where we can actually start taking this card apart to look at it. Going to need a second display card. That's a no detect. Yeah, I mean, is there actually any mileage in plugging in a second card and seeing if it's detected in Windows, or will it not be detected in Windows either? Will you get a... because if it's got no power, the card won't initialize, right? So, like, we're going to need to get past...
Whoops.
Yeah. So yeah, because we know it's no power. So Windows won't. Yeah, Windows won't see it. Says Sleepwalker. Yeah, I would expect it not. I mean, we could put it to the test. We can very easily do that. So, yeah.
Before we do that...
Oh, you're going to make sure that works, yeah.
I'm going to prove that all of this works.
Yeah. Gleesha also says no. So, yeah, we've got 2 people saying no at the moment. Yeah, that's a clean post. So we'll let that boot up. Well,
yeah, just because this hasn't actually had a clean boot in ages.
Quite a while. Yeah, yeah. We'll put it in, and we'll put it in, and we'll expect it to not work, but we'll do it anyway, just so we can just demonstrate that that doesn't work. Then I guess.
Oh yeah,
because
SSD hasn't even booted in this machine for a while.
Because like. The other thing is, a lot of people will say authoritatively that something doesn't work, and it's not that I don't believe you, but sometimes it's good just to demonstrate that it doesn't work, because then the people who, for everyone who is just like, oh, it might work, can see, no, this does not work. They have seen it not work, so now they know it doesn't work. So yeah. Right, we're just throwing up hardware info just to make sure that the water block is actually cooling the CPU. That would also be
somewhat
helpful.
Mounted.
So yeah.
Oh. No AMD graphics drivers installed. Funny that.
Yes.
Although I actually have the driver for the HD whatever it is on the on here in my.
I tell you what would be really handy. At some point we've got to get like a GT 1030 or something, just a UEFI graphics card that doesn't require PCI power.
Oh, there you go, 25C.
Okay, that's very agreeable. Obviously it's cold, but yep, it means that we have a mount, which is the important thing.
Yeah.
Screen capture for content. Yeah, I'll start grabbing that.
Yeah, we'll do that in a second. I'm just making sure that the PC isn't falling apart. 42C, 43C, 105 watt. Where's my core clocks? Where are my core clocks? 4 gigahertz, yeah. That is to be expected. Good.
HDMI in. Right.
24,000 points. That
right.
is
New HDMI's at your feet.
Cool.
Give me your HDMI.
Shutting down. Whoop. Oh.
Got it.
There you go. Oh, it's a black one. Oh, that's confusing. I expect it to be grey.
Not all of my cables are grey.
Just
most of them. Yeah.
Just the super majority. There we go. That's
all right. Oh no. There was an EK remark, and JD is immediately like, "I don't like EK." It's also EK.
I'll have you know that's Alpha Cool.
Yeah, it's an Alpha Cool block. Is it? Yeah, it's an EK pump.
Rad.
Yeah, EK Rad. Sorry.
Barrow pump.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get a Barrow.
Yeah. EK are fine, but EK are just hilariously overpriced now.
Have a Barrow Rad.
Yeah. That's the thing with EK is that they're fine. They're just insanely overpriced now. Is the problem with them?
Yeah.
They're just ludicrously priced for what they are, and it's just. I really liked EK for a long time because they made really good-looking stuff, but they kind of lent into that a bit too hard, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're the Apple of water cooling now," and it's just like, you know, a lot of people are just looking at them being like, "Yeah, I think I'm just going to buy Alpha Cool instead." Okay, right. So we should get capture this time. And so we've now got both the graphics cards plugged in. So we'll have output from our tester card and the broken graphics card. We want to see if it's detected. We're expecting it to not be detected. Let's see, I can face cam with capture. XR1. Right. There we go. Please excuse the underdriven picture. It's because this graphics card is weird and old. So, you got the EK AIO, and it wasn't very expensive. Interesting, yeah. You must have gotten a good deal on that, because I've got one of those, and it was ludicrously overpriced. But it's also very cool. I'm going to be sad when I sell it, but at the same time, it's just... It's a cool water. It's a cool water cooler. It just doesn't really make sense in the modern world anymore.
There is an AMD Mobility HD 5000.
I see. Are you actually installing drivers?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Well, because this is the Tenchbest set.
Oh yeah, it's
SSD.
going to want it. Yeah, so it just means that it actually has it for future reference. That's fair. As you can see, it is not detecting the other graphics card at all, not even as an unknown device. So, yeah, I think we've got an answer there.
Currently installing AMD branding.
Yeah. What I love when you have old installers is sometimes they still have advertisements for old games on them, and they're like, using this graphics card, you could play Half-Life 2 at really high graphics, you know.
We should, in theory, have 1080p now.
Yeah. Sound like, oh yeah, it's absolutely a hardware error. That's what we're expecting. We're currently just getting baseline. We're currently just doing baseline just so we can see what state we have. The card is currently doing exactly what the customer said it was doing.
Oh.
Are you?
We have not actually received 1080p.
I see.
Oh well.
Fine. Whatever.
I'll look at that in a minute.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. Right. I'm going to grab a mouse mat.
Her. Whoop. There you go.
Whoop. And we'll start stripping this card. All right, I'm going to move the cam over.
Absolutely. Mash delete. BIOS has been reset. Yes, good. Oh yes, the pump is currently at 3,000 RPM. That would also be why people can hear it.
Yes.
Damn it!
Oh, fan. Oh, I'm amazed you didn't lose a fan blade for that.
Noctua quality! Stay. Good.
Superior German plastic folded 1,000 times.
Exactly. However.
I'll let you deal with that.
Please
Face cam with
off.
bench. Let's turn this way so we're actually straight. All right.
Whoop.
Okay.
Let's get all of you out of the way.
Right. I'm just catching up on the chat. All right. Your EK360 RGB was 170. Was that the non-elite version or the elite? Because I've got the elite one, and that was the expensive one, but it came with like 6 fans and the upgraded pump. Okay, right, so I'm going to start stripping this. Have you got the iFixit kit over there?
No, it's on top of the Lianli.
Aha, okay. Oh, yes, that Lianli. I thought you meant like the white Lianli out there, and I'm like, why did you put it out there?
It's on top of the X1000.
Yes.
In the place where it lives.
The place specifically for the iFixit kit, the iFixit kit's location. Right, okay, we want one of them. Thanks. Have we got any other exotic screws on this? No, it's all Phillips. All right. Okay. Fixing a broken fan. Why would you bother fixing a broken fan blade? Just replace the fan. All right, let's start taking this to bits. I'm going to do the age-old trick of just remove every screw in sight.
There you go. Good. I'm going to... What are we going to do with the cider?
I want to drink it warmed.
Yes.
But I don't think we should do that today.
Very well.
Just because we're not remotely prepared for it.
Very well. It's the only cider we have. Otherwise, the stuff it's up here. Have we still got a box?
There's still a load of stuff in the rando box.
I will have a look at the rando box.
There's
Would you like a thing from the rando box?
Yeah, sure. Failing that, there's another cider in the fridge.
Where is the rando box?
It's in the storeroom.
Oh, yes. Would you like a rosy?
A rosy?
Or a haze?
I'll take a rosy. What kind of rosy?
A Thatcher's rosy.
Oh, rosé. Okay.
Yes, a rosé.
Sure, I'll have the rosé.
Also, would you like a haze?
What has happened to that haze?
It
Is that
has,
still in date? Does it go off?
it's become a Thatcher's clump.
Yeah. It's settled. Best before see neck. I didn't know cider could do this. Hang on a sec. Let me put it over white. Oh, it's not coming out very well, but there are bits floating around in it. Where's the best before on that, or is it on the lid maybe?
Oh, it's there. No, the 9th of March 2025.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it just needs a good shake then. Caradog opted not to give it a good shake and has just sent it. All right. Are we ready to go here? It's hard to tell. Right. The back plate won't come off because that's still got screws going through the card. However, the front should come off. And yes, I know it's a haze Teltac, but it shouldn't be clumpy.
No, it is not hazy, it is clumpy.
It is bits. It is like orange juice with bits, but apple juice.
Yeah.
Come on. Easy, slow.
Easy now.
There we go.
Would you like a rosé?
Oh, that looks like it's had ingress. There's some green splots there. Yes, I will rosé, thank you. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I'll pull yours far less violently.
Oh my god. Did it come out? It did. Good. Okay, there we go. Right. Alright, we lost half of a thermal pad there. Is what it is. Okay, right, let's have a look.
We do have a small selection of thermal pads on the shelf next to the nocturne.
Yeah, it's salvageable. It's just where it's torn. It's just annoying that they're not all in one in one place or another. Right, yeah, there's definitely been some liquid ingress into this thing.
There you go.
Okay, right, let's keep going.
Your one has the G.
Ah, thank you. Right, so you can see there's some little bits of green here around here. Probably it was coloured coolant, so there has been some coolant has gotten under the block.
Oh yeah, there's some there.
Yeah, and you can see it around the edges of the thermal paste there. So yeah, there has been some liquid ingress into this card, which is probably the origin of the fault. There are some tide marks on the card. It's always, when you see tide marks on a graphics card, it's always difficult to know if that's just oil from the thermal pads or not, though, because thermal pads tend to like ooze oil everywhere. They're horrible things.
What's the bubbling in this pad?
That corresponds to holes there.
Ah,
no
right,
idea what those holes, why those holes are there, but those do actually correspond with yeah. That is that is not an issue.
Yeah, that tastes normal.
All right. The green is bad, yeah. All right, I'm going to take off the back plate so we can check the back of it as well. And then I'm going to stare real close at this. I'm kind of banking on being able to see faults because I'm not quite sure how we're going to diagnose this.
Are there fuses by the 12 volt? Are the fuses open?
I'm not sure. There is some liquid on the current sense resistors though, so I'm going to start probing around that area. Yeah. We might want to get into a position where we want to try and power this thing up and see how far the power is getting, because the question is power, like we could measure the 12 volt over here while it's hot, And if there's 12 volts over here, we know that power is actually going through the card. It's just not being sensed. So the question is it saying there's no power because there's no power, or because it can't detect the power? And that's the first thing that's springing to my mind. So yeah, this is a 3080. If not fuses, should have shunts. Yeah, so the shunt or current sense resistors, that's where we'll be starting. Any more screws that I've missed? Nope, that's just the back plate. Might end up be worth giving it a bath. Yeah. Oh, here we go. That doesn't look good.
Oh, that's a bit crusty.
Yep. And I have missed a screw. I'd like to not have to put it in the ultrasonic right now because it's not warmed up, and my ultrasonic is a big boy and takes a long time to heat.
Oh.
Yeah, there's your problem.
Oh no. Oh, I hope that's not shorted.
Yeah, that's.
Guess what that is?
Yeah, that's V-core. Yeah.
It's either V-core or MEM, and
Yeah.
if it's MEM, it's screwed.
Yeah.
If it's V-core, it's possibly salvageable.
That's input though. This is on the input side. So yeah, this is okay because this is input side, not output. So we're not, if we are shorted, we're not shorted through on silicon. So I'm.
But it's also just a case of the memory rail is so sensitive that disrupting it in any fashion generally kills the card.
Oof. Yeah. Okay. Right. I'm going to remove the remains of that and put that just there. Right. Those are pretty. I'm trying to decide whether to remove these. Yeah, I think I will. I'm going to take these off just so I can actually. I'm going to clean up the card because we need to look at this properly. And I can't do that while it's got thermal pads hanging off of it. Those are going to be problems. Just going to very gently do a bit of that. These will probably need replacing if the card survives, but that's the least of our concern right now.
That can be the if the card works.
Yeah,
problem.
exactly. Like right now, having a good mount with the water block is not something we care about. The good news is we've got a corrosion spot in a place where there's 12 volts, which would explain why 12 volts isn't working. It's possible that there is actually a short on the 12 volt input side, and it's actually just arresting that and cutting the power, which would be very intelligent of the card to do, instead of just nuking the 12 volt input. So yeah, so far it looks like we might.
It could be the controller.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that alone, I think.
Detecting that.
Yeah. All right. Is it worth getting?
Are you going to clean the paste off?
Just
because that's the thing most likely to kind of smudge somewhere.
Yeah.
And just be annoying.
Yeah.
You put it over there.
Yeah. I was just thinking.
I was going to grab the one from there. I was like, there's one on every bench.
Yes. I'm just basically at the moment. I'm just like, am I going to get the microscope so we can look at this real close? I think that might be worth doing because it's not a huge amount of work to get the microscope. Please help me. I'm going to get this one in the meantime. It's a new roll and we can't find the end of it. I'm glad it's not just me.
My usual method is failing me.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a very well sealed roll of kitchen towel.
Every now and then, yes.
You pull a towel.
There you go.
Oh wow, this thermal paste is oh, this is like some ceramic nonsense.
Ceramique.
Oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate all of it.
You're now going to spend 45 minutes.
I might not clean this up properly right now because like it's not going to go everywhere because it's ceramic and it doesn't move.
That was more my comment of just,
yeah.
Is it going to go everywhere?
No, it is not because it's ceramic and it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, bollocks to that. All right. I'm going to catch up on the chat super quick.
There's also a weird rainbowing on the card here.
That was part
Is
of the
that
tide marks that I mentioned, and
Yeah.
I think that's thermal pad.
Is that the thermal pad, the oil?
Yeah, it might be a bit of both. There might have been there's been some liquid ingress, and that might have caused the oil from the thermal pads to run and just put a rainbow sheen across the
Yeah,
card.
because it
Let's
is.
see if I can get that on camera.
Because it is only this end
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
card.
well.
It doesn't extend any lower.
Yeah, but then like there's a little bit on the other end of the card as well. If I oh, it's really dim at this end. I don't think I can catch it in the light enough to. If you're really sharp-eyed, you see that white connector? There's a little bit just above there. But yeah, there's just a little bit of a rainbow sheen in a few places on this card, and lots around V-core area.
Yeah, but it's a lot worse.
Yeah, so there's been a lot around here. So there may have been just a brief spill on here, and it's just all run across the card. Like the way that as soon as you get a drip of oil, as soon as it rains, that oil just goes whoosh in all directions. So yeah, however, yeah, not super worried about that. Okay. All right. What was I doing next?
Grabbing the microscope?
I think so, yeah.
Eating a spectacular bloke?
I do want to do that as well. You break the blokes open.
Excellent.
Also, oh, hold on a sec. Before we do that, because we've got the camera, translation, please, someone. Room butter specularis blocks is Dutch, says Teltac. Help us, Europeans. It's good. Thanks. I'll take your word for that. They look good.
Oh, if it's Dutch, it means it's like the soup waffles.
Stroopwafel. Those are made in Holland.
Get the microscope.
Before we alienate the other half of the audience. A couple of whom are Dutch and the others are just furious at that joke. Right.
Super Trooper waffles. Oh yes, because you can just put the capture into the
Yes. Oh, well. Right, have I got... Just to save me moving the power supply, I'm just going to quickly check for a... Oh, it's that one. What are you... No.
freestyle.
Come on, I must have another Toshiba charger. I keep spotting one, and then when I need one, I can't find one. There. No, that's the old style one.
I don't speak Dutch, but I can read bad German. Isn't that just Dutch?
Oh boy. Okay. I don't approve. I didn't authorize that one. Losing faith in 3, 2, 1. No. Okay.
It's okay. You get a stage worse, and you get Afrikaans.
I mean, if you're trying to infuriate JD, I don't think you'll succeed with that. Because JD will probably be like, yeah, probably. Right, I must say, I've just got to pull out this power supply. I keep spotting another...
See, JD agrees.
Yeah, I knew it, yeah.
He's like, it's true. Not only will I agree with you insulting with me, I'll agree with the comments. It's okay, JD. You are seen.
I feel like we were exceedingly underprepared, even though we knew what we were doing. But at the same time, the fact that we found a corrosion spot, I'm like, hey, this actually looks like something we might be able to fix.
Hey, we could be professionals.
Yeah. However, the problem is, there's this now I'll just get another stream of people calling up wanting me to fix their graphics cards. I'm like, no, dude, seriously, I don't know how to fix graphics cards. This is good luck and cherry picking, you know.
What, what no one sees is the pile of dead graphics cards.
Yeah.
Over there,
All of the ones that I have that I don't know how to fix.
you've caught the HDMI.
Yeah. There we go. Oh yeah, that's. There we go.
It's in the bracket.
That's deliberate. Because it means that if it snags, it can't rip it all out from up here.
Yes.
Right. Input. HDMI in. Are you doing stuff on here while I'm working on this?
I was going to.
You're good. Yeah.
That's
That's
fine.
Yep.
As it was not necessary,
know-
I was going
yeah,
to.
didn't know
I
if you wanted
just
to.
carried the stuff out of the way in an attempt to avoid confusion
I see.
and in an
Right.
attempt to speed things up.
One sec, I've got gross on my hands and I need to
Ah.
sort this out.
I need to degross my cuts,
Yes.
my wounds. Yes. Rip your 980. Well, it died before anything happened to it. Here, therefore, no responsibility taken. What? How else does one pronounce Afrikaans? I'm so confused. I'm being complimented by JD and I'm not used to it. I'm also not even certain what I did.
Yeah, Afrikaans, that's how you say that. Even I know that, and I grimoire everything. Alright, I'm going to carry on doing this.
It took me so long to know what that was.
What grimoire?
Yes!
That's grimoire. To let people in on the in-joke, I am notorious for mispronouncing words, especially on stream, often without knowing that I'm doing it, which is why it's funny and terrible. And it originated from me mispronouncing grimoire as grimoire, which was genuine. I just literally thought that's how you said it, because there are so many words that I've read in a book but never heard spoken aloud, and so I just never knew how to say properly. And so it started with grimoire, and there are just every now and then I will say a word incorrect and people will be like, oh yeah, that is grimoire. And the latest one of which is granite, which I've always thought was pronounced somehow. I've always thought it was pronounced granite. And apparently granite is wrong and terrible and bad and I should feel bad.
It's
And
okay.
Bass and bass.
Have a specular bloke to make up for it.
Did anyone actually say what they actually were?
Something to do with butter.
I see.
They are very almondy.
Hmm.
They also, I presume, have rum in. Some sort of sponge.
Oh. Hmm.
Oh
Good.
boy, and a lot of cinnamon.
Hmm.
That somehow makes it look very unappetizing.
It's just a deep close-up of the bloke. Yes. Mm. I just saw the same thing. Alright, I'm going to eat the snack without making mastication noises into the microphone.
You have to pay extra for that.
Mm. And yes, also as Firephone says, we've also got to go and sign a record deal with Island Records. Man's got a record deal with Island Records. You're trying to trick me, Craig.
The hers.
Mm. Right. Mm. Okay.
Teltac, please.
Look, Teltac, I'm trying to read the chat while I'm eating. Right. Face cam with capture. Hmm.
What is that? Is that a 0 ohm
It looks like a current sense, yeah. I'm just not sure what it's doing up there. We'll clean this up in
I
a
mean,
minute
to
so we
give
can
a
take
really
a closer
unhelpful
look.
answer.
But yeah, this is our growth spot. That's probably our issue.
Have we got a controller on the other side of the board? In this corner, up here.
No. We've got some more stuff up here. That looks a bit
that's
gross.
a bit nasty.
Yeah.
Help, I've got a problem with my O2s. Oh, that doesn't look good, that leg there. That's got some...
There's some errant solder there, but I don't think that's an issue. That's just a manufacturing artifact.
Yeah.
This is just general grot. Like, this is just, yeah, like dust and
It's
grot.
upgraded from major grot.
Yeah. I was a bit slow on the uptake on that one. I laughed at the just sort of, oh, it's just, you know, this is advanced grot. And then I got the major bit and I was from general, like, oh, yeah. There were layers to that realization. All right. Has the water block leaked? I don't think so. I don't think this is block failure. More likely just a general leak, or just like maybe when fitting there was a little bit of leakage that didn't get caught in time or something like that. Is AIO liquid conductive? It depends what kind of AIO liquid. Probably not, 'cause it's probably deionized water plus additives.
The additives might be conductive.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know is the answer to that. It might depend.
Without knowing what the additives are, it's impossible to outright say.
Yeah. All right, let's also look down here.
However, I would run on the assumption that you want to clean it up.
Yeah. So look, some spots down here. It's not corrosion, but again, there's just liquid spots around this hole where it's come down through the hole. See, also like, what might have happened was there was some liquid on the surface of the card and it's crept down through the screw holes and just capillary through the screw holes, which has gotten it underneath the block. Because that's one method where you can have a surface spill that looks like not a big deal, but actually it got down through a screw hole and under the block. So what you thought was not a big deal actually was a big deal.
Would that mean it could be inside the PCB? Could it wick through the hole into the PCB?
Yes, and like you can see that there's a little bit of ingress there. I don't see a world where that's going to cause a significant issue, because also like that's not going to go deep into the PCB, and like that whole white ring around the PCB will be a keep out zone. There's not going to be any traces in that spot. So like the whole area will be a keep out zone.
You'd have to go a ridiculously long way.
That's right. So theoretically, yes, the PCB can absorb some liquid because it is a porous material, but I can't see a world where that's going to cause a problem. So I wouldn't say that's an issue. What are you trying to say? Capillary attraction? No, capillary action. It is having the effect of capillary. Yeah. It's not actually attraction, is it? Because
Action.
It's a capillary effect. It's an action that happens, isn't it?
The action of the capillary effect. I guess.
All right. Close to neon green, so I guess in coloured water. Yeah, or it was just a coloured coolant in general. Yeah. All right. So I think what we'll do is we'll clean up these. We'll give this thing a brush down, and we'll see if there's visible damage around here. This looks like it's just got a bunch of corrosion that is sending misleading signals.
Could you replace them?
Yes, we can replace the generic passive components like these capacitors and whatever that guy is. Looks like a current sense resistor.
Can you replace these?
These guys, I don't know what these guys are doing, and I don't know what they are, and we probably can't replace them. But also, I'll be surprised if that's an issue. That might be causing problems on the output, because this is on the back of the outputs, on the DisplayPort outputs and stuff. So like this could result in one of the ports not working, but I can't see a world where this is preventing the card from functioning. So like that, we'll clean that up, but I don't think that's a real problem personally.
Yeah.
That That's our problem right there, because this is 12 volt power, you know.
And also it looks like it's done a little bit of corroding.
Yeah. So,
Looks
right.
like some brown mixed in there.
Yes, agreed. Right, I'm going to pull out from this shot and switch to the bench cam. And I'm going to punch down, I'm going to punch all the way down on the bench cam, because this gives us just a wider shot so you can see what I'm doing. It'll be a bit grainy, but at least you can see what I'm doing. Whereas this is one of those times where the microscope is too close to get a broad picture of what's actually going on. Cool. Right, I'm going to grab the IPA and a toothbrush, and we're going to do a little bit of brushy.
Damn it!
Surprise. I need a schematic for the card, or at least a board view. I mean, not yet. Like, right now, we have visual things. We can see faults, and we can measure what we can see. So, yeah. This is the thing. Like, going back to old school Lewis Rossman, you don't necessarily have to immediately get out all of the schematics and board views. Start with what you can see and what you can visually measure. We don't need to switch on our brain yet. We don't need to know what any of this stuff is. We can just see that there is a fault on the card. If we clear up what we can see first, we might not need to actually understand any of it. And we can do that for a learning lesson, but you don't immediately need to identify what every single thing is. It might be easier than that. So yeah. Okay. Right, yeah, so I'm just going to give this an alcohol squirt. It is worth noting, though, before you start doing cleaning up, do make a note of what we've seen. We've done a visual inspection. We've taken note of where we found visual problems before we start erasing evidence.
And obviously the benefit of this is the fact that because there's video,
yeah,
it's easy to get multiple angles, basically.
Yeah. Oh man, this is really oily. It's even with the alcohol, it's very hydrophobic. So I'm just giving this thing a gentle brushy. I'm not being too vicious because I don't want to knock stuff off the board. I think we've lost a capacitor from one spot already. I didn't knock that. No, I think that was no stuffed actually. But yeah, I'm just gently cleaning up just so we can actually see what's going on underneath that gunge. We'll clean that screw hole just for good measure. So this is isopropyl alcohol, so we can use this liberally and it will just immediately evaporate. It is non-conductive and will not leave residues. So we can be very free with what we're doing here.
And it's like 99% stuff.
Yes. Right. It's not drying up terribly well because there's just, yeah, there's
a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, there's residues and oils on the board, which is making it difficult to get a nice clean finish. But we have just removed some of the initial gunk, so now we'll just go back under the microscope and we should be able to get a closer look at what we were looking at just then. Hook up the water block loop to see if it leaks. We can do that, but the card doesn't work, so we don't care about the cooling yet. Cooling is the least of our concerns at this point. So, let's
how are
see.
we going to cool it to test it?
I guess we'll have to put the block back on.
Just 'cause obviously we need the core to not explode.
Yes.
But beyond that, we don't really need anything.
That hole's a little bit gross. Let's just check the other side of that one moment. Oh, that's why we're just seeing that there. That's fine. That's mainly what we were seeing.
What is that?
It's a washer.
Oh,
But
right.
because I was seeing the edges of that washer that are a little bit gross, it looks like the inside of the hole was all gunged up, but it's not actually that bad. All of the other washers are missing, so I'm just going to knock that guy off. Wow, that's on there pretty good. The heck? Are there corresponding washers on the block? I'm not seeing any on the block. I'm going to put these to one side. I'm just removing them for the sake of getting a clean baseline. Whoop. Brushy, brushy. And again, I'm just going to do... Normally you wouldn't have to manually dry alcohol, but again, because of these oily residues, it's behaving very weirdly. And also I'm speeding things up as well. Okay, good. Right, that hole looks fairly clean, so we're happy with that side. Here, these are the power stages for vCore input, or well, some of the one end or the other will be memory, probably up at this end, but yeah, I'll call them vCore for the sake of simplicity. Okay, so on the back, this is where the main grossness was. So there's that current sense resistor. So if this guy was super messed up, if this guy was dead shorted, then the PWM controller might have been interpreting a gross overcurrent and just putting the card into cutoff. That is a theory.
Oh, what? As in, wouldn't it record that there is no current? Because if the resistance of the link goes down, wouldn't it reduce the current it's linking?
Yes, if the resistance goes down, then
because
it will
that's
think
what
there's...
shunt modding is.
Yeah. No, because when you shunt mod, you add... Yeah, adding more resistors reduces the resistance.
Because you're giving
parallel,
which reduces the resistance.
That's right. However, the resistance would, if you've got like corrosion causing a short, then you're going to get effectively zero resistance, and that would be interpreted as a faulty. There needs to be some resistance,
and also a case of the NVIDIA card shut down if they read functionally zero current.
Yeah. Cool.
Which is why you can't just short them anymore.
Right. Okay. So these guys are probably okay. Let's just buzz these out and just make sure that we don't actually have a short circuit there. My inclination is just to reflow these solder joins, because we've taken off like the plating on the ends of these, and it would make me feel better if we just reflowed those solder joins with some fresh solder. Technically, these parts should be replaced, but we could probably just reflow them all and just see if the card comes good, because that tells us if we've actually solved the problem. And then at that point, the amount of additional restoration work we do is just up to our discretion. Could you hold that just so I've got a bit more space? Thank you. So yeah, it would be nice if it's as easy as cleaning. It might be. You know, this is the thing. With liquid damage, I'm a big believer in the brushy method, because 9 times there's a lot of stuff that you can fix just by cleaning up the gunge. All right, so the multimeter, I'm going to put my black probe on ground, so I'm going to pick a screw hole. I'm going to do a quick ground check. That is indeed ground. So firstly, let's just check this guy. Right, and we're getting kilo ohms and rising. So yeah, we're up at, we've just jumped up to like 20 kilo ohms. It started low and then it charged capacitors and then settled at like tens of kilo ohms. So there's no short circuit there. I'll check the other side just for good measure, just in case this guy's blown open or something ridiculous like that. Same thing, kilo ohms and rising. So yeah, there's no short circuit there. So there won't be any here either, because it's on the same area. But just for posterity, it's reading meg ohms around there. This will be ground, which it is. So these are input capacitors. That side is ground. This side is the actual input coming through from this current sense resistor. Good. All right. So I should have measured them before we cleaned the gunge off, because if we'd measured them before cleaning the gunge and seen different results, we might have gotten more information. But I forgot. So yeah. Right. Yeah, I'll reflow those solder joints just for good measure, and then I think at that point my inclination is to
peel the
fire
pads
it up.
off. Peel some of the pads off.
Yeah.
And then just
Yeah, we just need to figure out what the easiest way of doing a dirty mount is, just so we can turn it on and see if anything has changed.
Yeah, basically just squeezing the block together.
Yeah, cool.
Put
All right.
the 4 screws around the actual block on there.
Yeah. Yep. We don't need it to be a permanent mount. We just need to see if anything has changed, because if anything at all has changed, it means we're onto something. Whereas if nothing has changed, it means we have bigger problems.
Yeah.
Ugh. Right. Soldering iron grab. And power bank grab. Oh no. I'm not sure where the big boy power bank is.
It's on the bench under the monitor.
Oh, good. That makes that easy.
It is, in fact, there.
Do you have a PCIe riser? I do, but not one that I've tested. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
It's not shorted.
No.
So, from a point of view of the board.
Oh, I see. Yes. Yeah. Just because, putting it on a riser means we could have it flat somewhere or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah. If we were doing this more frequently, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I want a Gen 4 riser just so it can sit flat on the bench, so you can then just stick a lump of metal on the core
Yeah.
to keep it cool.
Yeah, that would be a lot easier.
But obviously, we can just squeeze the block back onto it for a moment. Because all we're looking for is it to get detected by Windows.
Yeah, that's fair.
Basically.
Okay. Right. We are warmed up. Oh my god, I'm doing this so cack-handed, but it's fine.
Would you like to uncack your handing?
Yeah, it's fine. I just need that solder to flow under there. Wow, that's heavier than I thought it would be. Boost.
As the power bank just goes 32, 31, 30, 29.
Yeah.
Hey, think though, with the new PD standards, you can have a 240 watt USB-C powered soldering iron.
Right. This is going to be really hideous and ugly. And I think, however, if this works, then I'm inclined to actually desolder this entirely, so I can actually clean it up properly and resolder it properly. What I want to do.
Would you also use the hot air for assistive heat?
Yeah, I probably dual wield soldering irons actually, because I'm super into that as a method at the moment. It's incredibly effective.
Oh yeah, because you've got the Pinesil as well, haven't you?
I have 2 Pinesils, yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yep, I have 2 I've got a Pinesil 1, a Pinesil 2, and I have a TS100.
You did get a.
Yeah, I'm using the Pinesil 1 at the moment because it's got the Hall effect sensor in it, so it auto sleeps.
Don't you have 2 of those sensors?
No, I don't. I've been meaning to buy another one so I can mod the Pinesil 2. But also, like, there's currently no advantage to me using the Pinesil 2 because I'm not using the upgraded tips in it.
The change of tips?
Yeah. It does also have Bluetooth in it as well, though, which would kind of be interesting because I could get a script that would give me on-screen temperature for my soldering iron, which would be kind of neat for the videos.
That'd be neat.
Yeah, that'd be a cool gimmick to have.
Is the Pinesil actually in stock though?
No idea.
So that's always been its kind of problem.
Sometimes is the answer to that. So yeah, right, that will do. Very ugly solder joins, but it just means that we know that there is actually a solder join there and not just a pile of rust kind of thing, which is what I'm concerned about. You could hold that for me, thank you. Right, I'll just quickly deal with that flux. Sorry for the white flashing. Flashbang of the white toothbrush.
Which is luckily only a quarter of the display.
Come on, get off there. There we go. All right, where was that? Here we go. Right. It looks nicer than this in real life, but the Microscopes are extremely unflattering. C4 tip would work on better high thermal mass. Yeah, I do need to get a better selection of tips, but also though I'm going to get a new soldering iron soon, because where I'm moving into doing HDMI ports on consoles and stuff like that, the pine saw just doesn't have the grunt. It just doesn't. It can do it with assistive hot air and stuff like that, but broadly speaking, the pine saw just does not have the grunt for consoles.
The pine saw is 88 watt boost, isn't it?
Pine saw 2 is 85.
Oh, 85.
The Pine Saw 1, well, I run them at 65 watts. And yeah, like if I used a soldering iron tip with a high thermal mass, that would help. But also then it means that I've got a big tip, which becomes unwieldy. So yeah, I'm gonna get a better soldering station. So yeah, I just need Soren's Rosen Flux. I'm gonna carry on using Amtech. I've not looked into his flux, but I'm just like, no, I've got Amtech, it works.
Are you going to get that JBC, what's it, doodad thingy that Moeto was talking about?
Probably. I didn't think it was a JVC.
JVC?
I don't think it was a JVC. Yeah. Yeah. Either that one.
Oh no, Atten B something.
Yes.
That was the one.
It was a B something or other. Yeah.
Yes, that one.
But yes, the one that Moeto was talking about, and also I think Wild Floor Lamp also recommends that station. You're still using a TS100? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Have you tried any like Xboxes or anything though, Pianov? Because the Xbox, the PS5 motherboard and the Xbox Series X motherboard is like trying to solder to an anchor. It's yeah, it is literally like trying to solder to an anvil. It's ridiculous. And like that's not just me. Various other people confirmed that they are bar-storially heavy boards. So, okay, so I'm gonna let me go back to bench cam. Face cam with bench. Right, so this water block, I'm just going to move the remnants of these thermal pads, and we're just going to very roughly put squeeze it together, which is not a permanent solution, but it's enough for us to turn it on and see if it works. These thermal pads are not in great condition, but there we go. Right. The memory has cooling on it, and right, what is not cooled at the moment? Half of the VRM on the other side. I will arrange that just for good measure, I think. I don't really care about the capacitors, they'll be fine. But I do want the power stages to have some cooling on them. I mean, we're not going to hit it with a load though, so that might be academic anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say it won't matter.
Yeah, no, you're right. We're not going to hit it with a load. They'll be fine.
The only thing I would do is put a blob of thermal paste.
Yeah, do you want to grab... Oh, thank you. And I need that. Ooh. Thank you. Right, I've got to get all this. I don't need to get it out, but I need to just. Oh no! Oh, mistakes have been made. Okay, we're cleaning up this. We're cleaning up this horrid ceramic.
Squelch, squelch. Oh. Caradog is the GPU mounting system.
Yeah, didn't we know someone at some point who was swore by ceramic, or was that just someone who was using it up?
Yes.
Yeah. It's horrible stuff. I hate ceramic. It just doesn't move.
Have you still got my giant tube?
Of what, of ceramic?
Yeah.
Maybe. I can't remember if I managed to finally use it up just to get rid of it, or whether I got bored of it and was just like, I'm just throwing this in the bin and I'm going to pretend that I finished it off.
No, it's here.
Great. I hate it.
But it's the upgraded, the new, the improved. The ceramic too.
Hmm. Okay, right. Cheapo thermal paste, because we don't care about this mount. It just needs to not immediately burn out. Ooh, pliers. Pliers. All right there.
Oh I was looking at the engraving, seeing if
Yeah.
there was anything interesting on there.
GA 102.
Yes. The sound effects make it spread better.
Absolutely. Oh, let's just deal with the back of the block as well.
Just wipe up the green. Do you think this was done by the customer?
I don't think so.
Just because I don't know if this is a factory block. Because I can't remember, because there was a Waterforce 3080.
Even if it's a factory block, that meant that there was someone in a factory mounting water blocks onto graphics cards. So, like,
Sure.
does it make a difference, you know?
What?
I'll tell you what, I'll rephrase that. What are you getting at by saying, is this the customer's mount?
Did they mount it? Did they use these thermal
Yeah.
pads? Did they use this thermal paste?
Yeah.
Or is this what came from the factory?
No, I think this is a factory job.
Yeah.
But just like, what does that change, though, is what I was theorising.
The interest of, did the customer mount a water block or just buy one?
Yeah. No, I think this was purchased. Right. Oh, yeah, I can't do it that way around. I hate this bit. There's some RGB on the water block that's just making it difficult to hold flat while I lower it onto the card. And also I can't see the alignment. So that's why it looks like I'm making a hash of this, because it's actually harder than it looks. All right. No GPU manufacturer is going to use ceramic. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is true, yeah. Yeah.
That's what I was kind of thinking. It would have
Yeah.
just been some sort of small...
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible that the customer was capable of mounting a block. Oh, I've just ruined one of the thermal pads even more. Was capable of mounting a block, but once they ran into a card that didn't work, didn't know how to approach that.
Well, yeah.
That's entirely reasonable, so yeah. Am I going to bother with the back plate? I don't think so.
Just don't do the screws tight.
Okay, can I lay this? No, because the back plate is on there. If I lay the card down, it will push
Peel.
away. So I have to do this very awkward bit where I need a third arm. Okay, there we go. We have 2 screws in. I'm not graunching these tight. I'm just bringing them down to the stop.
Yeah, because they're spring ones anyway, so
Yeah.
in theory the springs are actually doing the work.
You say that, but these springs feel really mild, so I don't know if they actually do anything. I don't think they do.
Yeah.
These springs don't feel like they have nearly enough tension in them to actually hold anything on. So I don't think so. Cool, right.
Is that somewhat attached?
That is somewhat attached. I think that's attached enough to stop the core from just immediately exploding. So I say send it.
Cool.
So yeah, I think as soon as we see that it's doing something different, I don't know actually. I don't know what I'm expecting. I'm going to bring the camera around. Hold on to your butts, everyone. The camera is moving.
Whee!
I think the camera is on some kind of shot now. Ugh.
Come here.
Ta-ding. That'll do. Okay. Was the factory sticker... Oh no, the factory sticker was not broken. And yeah, JD says, I know people with rolls of those stickers. This is true, but like, no customer is going to bother doing that. Yeah, so I don't think the customer has repasted it, but I don't know. That's a tough
Maybe
one,
they
actually,
bought it
'cause-
off of eBay?
Yeah, maybe it was an eBay purchase and just someone else has done it. All right. It started flashing sooner than that the last time. Holy shit, I think it's working. Have we got capture?
I don't know. We'll find out in a second. There we go. We do.
Holy shit. I'm a genius. I toothbrushed a board. Like I said, people, no schematics, no board view. Don't overthink it. We don't need to know what any of it does. We just need to make it a good solder join.
There is a hard drive.
I was going to say the punch sounds like a hard drive. Right, we're not out of the woods yet.
Spare adapters. There we go. There is some sort of 3080.
It is detected. Yep. Oh,
There
let
is
me
a
go
3080.
to. Let's see. Have we got capture? No, hang on. We don't have a capture.
Just
with
click
face
on. Just unlock it and then.
Yeah. Let me just full screen that. Bam. Nope, we can't full screen it because this OBS is spooky. Anyway, as you can see, it is now detected.
There you go.
Just a good old cleaning and soldering. I doubt that it needed that soldering, to be honest. I did that for good measure. However, before this card goes out, personally, I want to resolder those properly because like the component didn't flow properly, and I think there's a really garbage solder connection underneath that. And I would feel better if we removed it, cleaned down the pads, and then put it on properly. Do we dare hit it with some kind? No, okay. Okay. Oh yeah, it's got no cooling. I forgot.
That's
yeah.
cooling.
I forgot.
There you go. But I was looking here to see that we weren't at 90, so we can
Yes.
leave it sat here for a minute. Was more my thing of look, we can look at this
Yeah,
and
this
go,
is true.
Interesting. What does this show?
Also, we could probably fire up GPU-Z and just see if we're in a low power state.
We're not, because the clocks did spike for a second over 100.
Okay, yeah. Would they limit to 100 if it was in a low power state?
as far as I'm aware,
Yeah.
if they're stuck in 2D mode, they only go to 100.
Okay, that's good then. Yeah.
So yeah. So,
Okay.
yes, it is worth us. Yes, sticking the rest of the screws in, sticking it in the loop,
Yeah.
and then seeing if it will install a driver.
Yeah. Okay, so are we gonna touch up those solder joins now, or are we gonna actually do a bit more reconstruction to see if we've actually got a winner or not?
Do you think you can? Oh yeah, you could do that without any other work.
Yeah,
if that
no,
makes sense.
I'm just gonna dual wield soldering irons. For
Yeah,
that. Yeah. I mean, no, I'm not gonna hot air. Hot airing it would be a lot easier, but I'm not going to tempt fate by putting a hot air station on a graphics card, because also like. Just from the touch up I did, I was feeling a very heavy ground plane there.
Yeah.
Very heavy power planes around that area.
Yeah.
And like you can feel it with the soldering iron.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's just a case of I just want to get the other screws in. I'm not
Yeah.
fussed about thermal pads.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to be hitting it with a heavy load, so the VRMs are actually stressed.
Yeah.
But it's just a case where I want to make sure that the block is actually mounted to the PCB properly.
Yeah.
Just just so we're not guaranteeing cooking something by a dodgy mount.
Cool. All right then. Groovy. Right. So I'm gonna get the dual wield soldering irons out, and we're just gonna take off those two capacitors and the current sense resistor, and then I'm going to re-tin the pads under them because those looked a bit sketchy, and then we can put them back on, and then we can just be confident that there is some nice solid soldering underneath those.
Yeah.
Like none of those components. I don't think those components are doing massive current handling, but they are still power related, and as we've demonstrated, they are critical.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that they've actually got a good, long-lasting connection.
Yeah.
So
You just want to make sure they're properly soldered on there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just work out where I'm going to plug stuff in.
Yeah. So yeah, and then obviously we're going to need to do a partial drain so we can actually put it in the loop. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Good. Okay. So.
Yeah, I'll come out of there.
Yeah.
And then go from there to there.
Good.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So right, I've got a battery powered soldering iron. I need the other one The other one's going to need to be mains powered because I've only got one power bank. So I need to get the other soldering iron and a power supply for it. What's this Type-C power supply I've got over here? Please be 65 watts. It is, good. That will power a soldering iron.
Good.
There is a cable, a cable. There's the pine saw 2. Thanks.
Have the stuff.
Right. Fermark is trash for GPU testing. Yeah, Fermark will load up the power stages, but it doesn't test the core very well. But
It's also any driver after like 10 will massively throttle the card.
Yeah.
As soon as it detects Fermark.
Yeah. So so far as I know, superposition is still one of the best ways to load down the graphics card. And
Or a game or anything,
Yeah.
just because we're looking to see if it functions.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like
We're still looking for signs of life.
Yeah, we're not at burn-in testing yet.
Yeah. I am going to functionally drain this, I think.
Cool. All right. I'll let you start doing that while I set up for this.
Yeah, exactly, given it actually doesn't take that long.
Yeah. Wondering what caused the leak, if there was a leak. It might have just been sloppy filling. Like, look how much water we spilled when we were dicking around with this, you know. It's just, this is part and parcel of running custom water cooling. It's not that it's unreliable, it's more that it's pebcac, basically.
It is so much easier just to dribble something somewhere because there's a lot of joints.
Yeah. I'll give you the bucket.
Yeah, thank you.
This is a bucket.
Woohoo!
Dear God. Are TF2 memes still funny?
I mean, TF2's still getting hat updates.
Have you seen how big the install is for TF2 these days?
Yeah, it's 140 gig.
Yeah. It's like, how?
Hats!
Yeah, and I know, but, you know, it should be
Hats.
legal. Hat. Right.
Cat. Cat.
No, that one's too obscure.
Postman.
No one will get that reference. No one will understand that reference. Patman Post. No. All right. Right, what happened to my soldering iron? I put it over here.
Who let us loose on the internet? Patman.
Right, stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about it and fix the graphics card. Okay. Right, here we go, everyone. Dual wield.
Akimbo.
Liam in Wales said, as a kid I got really confused watching Postman Pat in Welsh. Why? What did Postman Pat do in Wales? I'm not saying anything. Postman Pat started as a Welsh show. Yeah. Alright, let's try not to do those jokes though, people.
I think I'd be very confused watching Postman Pat in Welsh.
Yeah. You'd only seen it in English. Oh, I see. Did you just hear it in Welsh language and be like, I don't understand why he's speaking Welsh or something? Alright, let's see. Face cam with capture. Bench. Let's do bench cam with face. That's the wrong one. I need capture with face. Oh, hang on a sec. I'm just going to make a new thing.
Did it? Speed tubes.
Capture with face.
Oh, no.
Oh, this keyboard isn't even turned on. You're right there.
Do we have enough barbs? Oh, we do.
I sincerely hope so. We'll be back in a moment, everyone. Hold on. Right, video capture device. Add existing.
Ava Media?
XL1. And video capture device. Add existing. Ava Media. There we go. Right. I'm just going to quickly plug the...
Blessed are the Ori.
Where did that one come from? Like, I know where it's from, but why did that suddenly pop into your head?
That'll do, I think. What are we doing other than crimes?
Right. We're always doing crimes here, aren't we? Right, what's that? That's out. I need in. Oh, we should have gotten a second capture card.
Yes, we require more capture cards. All the capture cards.
There we go. We live down here now. Huh. Okay. Welsh was confusing as a kid. Welsh is confusing to adults as well.
Welsh.
Yeah. Wales has a lot to answer from. For. All right, here we go. I guess as a treat we'll have some. Given that I am actually trying to protect these joins, that's the point of this.
What is all of that brown fluffy stuff?
It's just gunge that's on the tip of the thing, so just fluff and stuff like that. Because I never bother wiping it. Right, I'm now going to unplug one of my soldering irons.
I'm so confused. Why is this puzzle so confusing for me?
I'll let you deal with it. I believe in you, Caradog. I believe you can solve this. I need to get my wick. That's John Wick.
What is it? That's the out. That's the
Jason
in.
Bourne.
I've pulled off the wrong one. That's why I'm confused. I couldn't work out how the out went from where it was.
I see.
Huh.
Your flux is growing pubes. Oh no.
Gaflux.
Hello, Muerto.
I'm passing you the shell.
Right. Apologies for the shaky cam. That's just because Caradog is also working on this bench, and this is not a very stable thing. Right, here we go. Let's just clean this up. It's action cam, so we've got to add in built-in shaky cam.
Ah, it's Jason Bourne.
No, seriously, I'm sorry about the shake, everyone.
Oh boy.
Oh, come on, dude. Oh, this is heavy, man. Get off, get off, get off, get off. Ugh. That did not go very well. Let's try that one more time just to get that flat. However,
The good thing about having such ridiculous lengths of tube is I can do things like this and just be like, ha-ha! Imagine having the things you need.
oh no, it doesn't want to do it. Come on, there we go. All right, that's enough.
Where
That'll
did the
do.
knife go? There.
All right. That is very shiny. It is very shiny. We've got a very high contrast here. I could probably do something about that, actually. Does that help? Give you a little bit more detail. All right, let's see. I'm now going to solder one side. Oh my god. There we go. I'm going to put way too much solder on one side. Can I just dab some of that off? Please excuse me while I do soldering iron crimes. Fine, that's how much solder it gets now. I need some tweezers as well. Are the magic tweezers still here? They are, that'll do.
Magic tweezers.
Yeah.
So sharp they'll cut your eyes. Just
Yeah.
by looking at them.
For reals, I shouldn't really use them for this. They're a bit overkill, but they're the ones that are already on the bench, so. I need to constantly have my finger on the boost button here. Oh, Oh, come on. Don't, oh my days. Oh, there's gunge there. Be gone. There we go. Right, that's not very pretty, but it's on. More flux, Governor. An entire pool of flux. All right. And some more flux on the other side. Let's just see if we can get some nice round pillows on the end of this. You know you can change the firmware, so you can just set 450. The tips won't go that high. Like, yeah, my pine saw will go to 450, but the tips won't. The tips will top out at like 115, and it feels... I think I would just be ruining the tips if I tried to keep driving them at up to 450. So yeah, I run it at 400, and I use the boost button just to say like push for 400 kind of thing. There we go. I don't think this is going to look super pretty without just straight up replacing this resistor, and I don't really want to do that because I would have to start digging through old cards to find something that looks correct. But yeah, it's
probably anything 700 series onwards.
I can't imagine it's going to be difficult to find one of these on a breaker card, but like it's fine. The important thing is that it's soldered down correctly. That's our actual objective here. So yeah. So yeah. Okay.
But yes, the other point is it still looks better than it did.
Indeed. Those capacitors, honestly, I might just leave them alone. I think they might be fine.
Occasionally less is more.
Yeah.
What is the pool of stuff to the left of the capacitors? Sorry. On the left-hand side, there is just yellow, ambery stuff.
I mean, that's flux. Oh, that's flux.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've already touched up those joints.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I didn't see that, so I just saw splooge, and I was like, oh.
Nope, I've already
what happened?
Yeah, I've already touched up those joints. So yeah, those capacitors, they, the end caps on them look really rough, but they're still going to have a... Oh, no, we should take them off because the end caps underneath might also be buggered. Yeah, I can easily...
What happened here?
Again, that's the end cap. That's just corrosion has just eaten the end caps. So yeah. Yeah.
If they fail, what will happen?
Nothing. They're bypass. So that they are reducing some noise on the line.
So for our purpose of seeing if we can get the driver to install, there's no real purpose to touching them up.
Yeah.
And it's worth touching them up when you can find out what specifically they are to just replace them.
We can find out what they are because we've got like all of these caps along here. They're all going to be identical.
Yes. So do you have a replacement?
Almost certainly. They're I would bet money that they're 10 microfarad.
Yeah.
Because they're always 10 microfarad.
Fine.
Okay. And I have a reel of them.
In both sizes?
Yes.
So why don't you just replace them?
Yeah.
Instead of touching it up, why don't you just replace them?
Maybe I'll replace them, Caradog. Maybe I'll do that.
Okay. Well, I was running it more from the point of view of it, the level of work of touching it up, you might as well replace it.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Given you can... It was more from the point of view of if you didn't know what they were going to be, and you didn't have the parts on hand, not fiddling with it is fine.
Yeah, understandable.
As you're just like, I have the parts. And it's like, well...
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, right, let's rip them off. All right, I'll take these two off
I don't know
first.
how I feel about these pint glasses being Clarity branded.
Yeah, they're not particularly clear, are they?
But it's also just a fact of what, when I've drunk an entire pint, I'll see clearly.
Can see clearly now, the sober's gone.
Well, that's what it should look like.
Oh yeah, that's come good at the bottom, hasn't it?
It doesn't have floating bits.
Maybe 20 microfarad for the bigger one? Yeah, possibly. Yeah, we'll measure these ones in a sec. There's a good chance these things still work just fine. It's just the end caps are ruined on them. Oh, my right hand's... Oh, yeah, the right hand soldering iron is up to temperature. It's just on a ground plane, and it hasn't been reflowed yet. Oh, come on, dude. I believe in you. Boost. That might need some fresh solder. There's one. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ah. Alright, there's one that's just burning on the end of the iron right now. Let's just save him if he's still alive.
I was a capacitor.
And while the irons are hot, let's just jump this guy as well. Okay, right. I'm gonna wet the end of that one just since I just had trouble.
So will the smaller capacitor have a lower ESR and ESC?
Yeah, pretty much. It will be the smaller one is probably a 100 nano or something like that, and so it can just be a smaller size. And smaller size means lower ESR. Yeah. So smaller is better. However, you need to go bigger to get the capacity up.
Yeah.
Oh, I just unplugged the iron when I actually haven't taken it off the board yet. I just wetted the join. Oh. Then I took a soldering iron to the knee.
I guess that's ever so slightly better than a flying capacitor to the face.
Oh god, I'm so cacat now on set. Let's reverse these.
Just twist the board.
Never. That's the sensible thing to do. I refuse.
I mean, isn't that what you say? You know, don't be afraid to rotate the boards so it works for you.
Do as I say, not as I do. Oh, balls. I didn't flow that top one. It's sticking. Come on. Nope, that needs reflowing. They're being stubborn. Right, I am going to turn the board now and take my own advice and make the board work for me. There it is.
Hold on, why are these capacitors the wrong way around?
Yeah, I don't like turning the board around in videos because it disorientates people. People are just like, wait, what am I looking at now? You know. However, that's absolutely what you should do so you can not be working cack-handed. Oh, come on. Bit more. Do that again, please. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Ah.
Crunch.
Save him. Oop. There we go.
Boil him.
You will be boiled. All right, there we go. We'll clean up all of these pads in a sec. Love all the sound effects. Yeah.
Oh no.
What happened to my cider? Oh. Okay.
Because more cider is what this soldering requires.
Hey, it worked last week. I fixed 2 motherboards last week, kind of. Right, okay, let's come on.
I did quite enjoy after the stream how you're just like, I was focusing so hard.
Yeah.
I was trying to stay on topic.
Yeah, well, there were sections where like I had to explain something to the camera, so I was like, we do this and we do this, and this is done because of this. Yes, that's correct. So yeah. There it is. This guy probably needs recharging at some point. Right. Can we get... I don't think this is going to go very well, but I'm just going to check if the microscope can see my thing. Oh man. Okay. Right.
These are the pads.
Yeah, well... face cam with capture. Let's bring that back down in size. Right, so I've got the transistor tester, the transistor tester. So we're going to stick the capacitors on here and see if we can identify them. All right, so I need a plastic prying tool to hold this down, because otherwise it skews the results. I've tested this before. Right, let's see if we can actually get a test on these without pinging them off into the Stone Age. Okay, right. Oh. Balls, the battery's flat. Hold on while I get a charge cable as well. That will do.
The other thing that's slightly disconcerting is the tubes slightly smell like burning electronics.
That's not a smell you want to have. Like, burning electronics, that's...
Like the melty plastic burning electronics.
Yeah, like magic smoke is a smell that, like, as soon as you catch any kind of whiff of it, you're like, everything stops. What's blowing up, you know? Stop everything. All right.
Did you fit a little charge circuit to that as well?
Yeah. So this transistor tester is supposed to run on.
Where'd the capacitor go? That was on the pad.
It's still on the pad. I'm not going to hold it up again.
Jesus wept.
Shut. I'll show it off later. Right. Hold on. Right. Capacitor. Press down on board. Turn on.
Na, 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 na.
10 microfarads. Who's correct? I'm correct.
Your veloc is 0.8.
Yes.
What is your veloc?
Veloc. Now, someone explained this to me before. I can't remember properly, but if my memory serves me, the idea is if you charge a capacitor, let's say you charge a capacitor to 5 volts, then you take away the input and you see what you get out of it again. So it's essentially efficiency. So if you charge it to 5 volts and then you discharge it and it discharges at 4 volts, you have a 20% VLOS. You lost 20% of the voltage you put in.
Yes.
So it's it's an indicator of like efficiency kind of thing. That's super broad. Someone else in the chat might be able to explain it to me better. I'm going to check the other capacitor for good measure. I'll bet money it's also a 10 microfarad. I'm going to stop trying to capture this on the microscope. The microscope is just not the right tool for this job, and I can't be bothered to move the camera across. Right, the other guy, let's just make sure that this is also a 10 microfarad. Yeah, the other one is reading 12 microfarads, well 11.9 if I hold it down. And again, the ESR is 0.07 ohms, and that's me pressing it down on pads, so actually soldered it would be even lower than that. The important thing is it's not like 2 ohms of ESR, which would probably indicate that it's wrecked. We're not going to reuse these capacitors anyway, but just as an interest thing, the capacitors were not broken. They were just physically damaged. Right, what about the tiny boy? All right, this one might be a bit too small to get on here. All right, the tiny boy, I said this one was going to be 100 nano. Oh, this is giving me a invalid reading. Oh, that was tape. It made a noise and it made me jump. Ooh, let's just reset. Stand by, testing. Okay, this one is broken. However, it's got a bit of capacity. There's a bit of solder across it. Let me clean it up just because we actually need to know what this guy is. Also, though, it sat on the iron, so it might have gotten cooked. Yeah, there's a bit of... Oh, and it's gone. I dropped it. Oh, it's still on my hand.
That's how friggin' small it is.
All right. absolute pain in the ass. I just need to give this side a little scrapey. Come on. Oh, it's such an effort to manipulate these by hand. This is one of the times where having the schematics would actually be useful, because then we could just look at the schematics. So like, you know, I said earlier on, I don't need no schematics. This is actually the time where having a schematic would be extremely useful, because we could just look it up and be like, cool, it's 100 nano. We don't care what state the one on the board is in, because we're not going to reuse it anyway. Does
it matter if you put 100 nano? If you put a bigger one on there?
Not really. We can guess it. This is just, you know, noise filtering and stuff like that. And like, they're not super sensitive either. Like, you just need to be within the correct order of magnitude.
Yeah.
Is basically it. It may also just genuinely be sorted. It's got a bit of solder down the side of it, which means it's not giving a good reading. Where's that? Actually, the knife would scrape it off. I'm going to give up on this in a sec, everyone. It's just, it would just be very nice if we can just get an actual answer on this, just so we can demonstrate it. If I were doing this for a video, I would have given up on this and just said, I'm putting 100 nano on there, though.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. Oh. Okay, I think I dropped it. No, it's still okay. I've dropped it for the third time and still not lost it. Oh my God. This is an 0603 capacitor for the record, so it's, sorry, 0602. So it's not super small, but we're certainly down into the you can't hold this properly in your fingertips size. Okay, I dropped it for real that time. I'm putting on 100 nano, I don't care. I'm putting on 100 nano. 10 maybe? Nah. Yeah, I'm going for 100 nano. Oh, right, so we need some 10 mic and some 100 nanos. There's the 10 mics.
Is 100... Wait, no. No, 100 nano is 0.1 of a micro.
Yes, correct.
Yes, because it's thousands.
Yeah.
I can do basic maths.
Right. Could you do me a solid?
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you want me to also plug in the power bank, given you're down to 26%?
It'll get us through the stream.
Very well. Do I turn this tester off in some fashion?
Just leave it as it is. It'll time out eventually.
Ah. Huh.
All right.
It does basically an amp.
Yeah, it's got a TP4056 charge board on it.
Yeah. I half expect it to be like, I'm now charging at 2 milliwatts.
Yes. Okay, right.
Expected time to complete charging, 4 days.
Yeah, it's got a 2 amp hour battery on it, so it's quite happy to bash 100 an amp into it. Yeah. All right.
I was looking at one of those, you know, kind of, I can't remember what they call them, like the camping batteries. Sort of thing that has like the 2 mains outlets on it, a 12-volt outlet, a bunch of USB, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one of them was advertising fast charging, and basically all you do is just plug it into 240-volt, and it has a charging circuit inside. And I was like, at that scale...
They charge at like a kilowatt or something like that, I think, don't they?
Yeah, and I was like, at that scale, that's a significantly better option than plugging in a dual 240 watt type Cs. Because I don't trust people to have 2 240 watt type Cs.
Right, I just need to go through my capacitor selector armor, because I don't have... I've got 10 nano. I just don't have it on... I don't have specific bags of them like I do with the... 100 nano, like I do with 10 microfarad. What's the code? Someone give me a cheat sheet. What's the code for 10 nano? Is it 104 or 105? Let me see. So the capacitor code, so I've got 103 here, so that's 10 and 3 zeros. So that's 10,000 picofarads which is 10 nanofarads. So it's 104 I'm after, which is 10 and 4 zeros, which would be 100,000 picofarads. So yeah, 104 is what I'm looking for.
So it's
Yeah, 104.
So why are capacitors done in picofarads, but then spec'd in other units?
There we go. There's 104. It's so. It's just it's just in the same way that resistors are measured in ohms. But on the other hand, ohm is the zero thing. So yeah.
But also ohms are what the resistor is specified in.
Yeah, I think
on the board.
Yeah, I think
that's what I mean. Why do the schematics not say it's a 103 resistor? Sorry, capacitor.
Yeah, it's farads are weird because a farad is actually a really huge unit of measurement. Like 1 farad is a fuck ton of capacitance kind of thing. So I think that's why it's a bit oddball. Is they were like, oh yeah, our unit of measurement is farads, but also a farad is actually really huge. So yeah, I don't know if I'm honest.
I went through trying to understand what a farad was in relation to other units.
Oh yeah, I remember us going through this.
And was just like, why does this not work? Why do the units not unit?
You need to understand electronics engineering to even begin to approach that. And
it was
you need to understand it at the physics level.
And it was just the fact that I was just like, I understand a lot of this, but I'm like, why are you not just giving me the comparison for the units? Because I want to know, is 1 farad 1 watt hour sort of thing? Or is 1 farad a tenth of a watt hour?
Yeah.
You know, if I had a 1 farad capacitor, could it drive a 1 watt load for a second? Kind of thing.
I think we did get an answer to this because you had a meltdown on the stream for it.
I was just like,
yeah. But
it was also the fact that the unit started involving centimeters and seconds.
Yeah, but I can't remember what the answer was.
It was just like, why?
Night Fusion, thank you for the $5. Do you want me to send you the 3080 waterfall schematic to you on Discord? It's okay, thank you. I've already got the numbers that I need because I measured them.
We have brute forced by a measurement.
Yeah. All right, let's tidy up those pads.
That does look a little awful.
Yeah, it always does when you've just removed them. But yeah.
It's the one at the bottom which is now which is vertical.
Yes.
Nothing was on that.
That was a
right?
no stuff. Yeah, that was no stuff.
It just doesn't look it anymore.
Yeah, but where I've touched it with the iron, it isn't. But you can still see the lower one, that bit there where I'm pointing to. That's still a nice round pillow, which indicates that it was no stuffed.
Yeah.
So yeah, and as you can see, like there's a lot of bits here. It was a bit touch and go because if you look at some of the other ones, that one's no stuff, that one and that one, but there was one along here somewhere. Yeah, see that one is stuffed weirdly with.
What?
For some reason or other, they've stuck an 0402 into that one.
What?
Who knows why? Who knows why? But yeah, there's an 0402 on an 0804 pad because sure.
Oh, they also measured in like thousandths of hairs of inches or something.
Yeah, the standard SMD, the quote unquote standard SMD measurements are imperial. There is a metric standard, but no one uses metric. So yeah. All right. Okay, the soldering iron is up to temperature. I'm now just going to blob over this with some fresh solder and then wick it all down. So here we go. And I've got 2 capacitors ready to go, and I've got a string of the 100 nanos. Right, this is going to be very kludgy because there's not enough heat here. I could do with some assistive hot air for this, but we'll get through it. I basically just want to touch all these pads. There we go, that's fine.
Oh yes, capture.
Oh yeah, my bad. Capture with face.
Pow.
Behold a mess. Now I'm going to try and wick these down. However, I don't have enough heat to do this, so it's going to be a bit rough. Could you grab me these side cutters, please? I need to trim my wick. Thank you. Oh God. Oh, those side cutters are very blunt.
That's reasonably working.
It looks like it is. Well, it's working enough. Yeah. I don't have enough heat here. I can the iron and the wick keeps hitching, but it's doing the job. I just need to be careful not to knock anything off while I'm doing this. Something this week's video is a demonstration of that. Right, that's what we don't want to happen, is to get soldered across multiple pads and just stick to them. Well done, Graham, you just soldered the wick to the board.
Oh. I guess if it goes completely wrong, you can just use hot air and the soldering iron.
Yeah. Assistive hot air would make this go a lot easier. And so I would, if we needed to do that, I would just walk over to the other bench.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're set up over here, so I'm just trying to do this with minimal tooling now. There we go. Come on. Oh, we've hitched again. We're on the ground plane there. Come on. A bit more. Oh, okay. Just get off now. There we go. That's good enough. We're basically flat. As a special treat, I shall get a. I shall clean the board. Whoop. Go. This doesn't really change it much doing this, but it looks nice for the camera, just because when you initially wick down an area like this, it will look super gross where there's a whole load of burnt flux there. You could argue...
And a whole bunch of strands of wick stuck in the solder.
Yeah. It's not that bad. I don't think there is, actually. It's fine.
Isn't that here?
No, I think that's just a weird shape.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's probably good that there's not burnt flux under where you're soldering again, but also it looks nice for the camera. It shows that we've actually just exposed the pads and that the pads are nice and tinned. Because like the reason why we were doing this is to make sure that there's no corrosion under the parts. That was the concern that we had, is that there's corrosion under the parts which would continue to deteriorate. Even though the card is working, it would then later stop working again. So... all right. Are those solder joints better than factory? If I were doing this properly, they would probably be better than factory. They will at least be as good as factory at this point. They will be serviceable.
Or has there been a little chip or just in just there?
Yeah. So let me get the tweezers. So Caradog's just pointing out that there. That's a little bit of damage. That is probably an artifact of wicking, but that's not done any meaningful damage. It's not torn up a trace or anything like that. We've just exposed some of the copper underneath the black solder mask. But that's the beginning of damage through improper wicking. So it's fine, but that's what starts happening. Also, though, that might be where it was slightly eaten by corrosion. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right then. All right. Okay, right, let's put some new capacitors down. Where's this opened from? There. So I've got two 0804 10 microcapacitors and a single 0602 100 nano. And I shall now solder them to the board. So I want to put down, let's see, we're going to go, let's get the small boy first. It was there, wasn't it? Yes. See, again, that 100 nano is intermittently not there as well. Just where they've just nickel and dimed the board.
I wonder if it's where one of them is like a memory phase and then one of them's VCore and one of them's a memory phase.
Maybe. Yeah.
So just a case of like, for the memory, they've gone, oh, we need this 100.
Yeah. See, again, these are just filtering. Like, they're not critical. They're just taking out some high frequency clutter. But like the power stages are going to deal with that anyway, I would imagine. But on the other hand, like you said, apparently memory is super sensitive, so maybe they do need to just give them a lot of bypass, or at least just some bypass. Whoops, I need heat. Oh, I need flux as well. That's fine. Let's just get him stuck down first. Now we'll flux and do the other side. Hi guys, what Pixel phone do I have? I've got a Pixel 6 at the moment. I would rate any of the Pixels if I'm honest. Let's get the other side first. Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed my Pixel ownership. It is everything that I wanted it is everything I expected the Pixel to be. I'm working cack-handed. I'm going to be gross and put some solder on the iron and then touch it. There we go. Let that dry, then hit the other side again.
Is the only issue with that just the fact of it takes the flux out the solder?
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah,
where you've got a pool of flux on the board,
the flux
because you're being reasonably quick, it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah, the flux will just burn off of the iron instantly. I mean, because I'm running 400 degrees, I'm running over the temperature for this flux anyway, so the flux is burning off. That's why we get so much smoke. And you'll notice that where I've touched it, there's no flux left because I've just immediately burnt it up.
Yeah.
But we make a puddle there just so there's more flux to move into its place. So it's a little bit gross, but it works basically.
Yeah.
Good, right, I'm going to turn the board and do the other ones now. Whoop. Oh yeah, and to be precise, I have a Pixel non-Pro. The Pro would obviously have a little bit more performance, but I don't like the size of the Pro. It's too big for me.
As I'm aware,
it's got more RAM, hasn't it?
From the 6, 7 and 8, the actual specifications are basically identical. The differences are the screen size and the cameras.
Yeah. Oh,
the
that's fair.
The CPU and the RAM should be identical.
Yeah.
The storage options might be different, like the non-Pro might cap out at 512 and the Pro might go to 1 terabyte now.
Yeah.
But like, continuing my story of if you need more than 256 gigs of storage on your phone, you're doing it wrong. Because 256 gigs of storage is a lot of storage.
Yes. And it's certainly enough to have over provisioning as well to make sure that the phone lasts. Like initially when we started getting high capacity, it was like, oh cool, it's over provisioning so it won't slow down after 6 months of use. Yeah. But like we're past the point of usefulness there.
And also the fact of obviously just the quality, quote unquote, of Flash has gotten much higher because it's much cheaper to fit decent Flash now. Where'd all the solder go?
That's what I was just wondering. Come on, dude. That lower one just went sideways at the last second. Oh god, I'm sticking. Okay, that bottom one is done. That'll do. I'll hit that one again in a sec. I just want to get both sides. Because once I've gotten both sides, they'll stop moving around. We just need to tack it down, basically. And I'm going to flip the board just so I can work right-handed. Something, take your own advice. Just turn the board. Ooh. There we go. Move that on shot.
How much is a Pixel 6? I think the Pixel 6 in the UK is now about £220.
Yeah,
£250.
I bought mine for. I think I bought mine for 400 like 18 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, the prices really come down. Funnily enough, the best prices on like second-hand Pixels, or like refurbished quote-unquote Pixels, was Amazon that I found.
Yeah, there's loads of phone refurbers on Amazon. That's where I got mine from. Mine was an Amazon phone.
Pixel 6. Pixel 6 non-pro. If you want it new, you can get it for 320. If you're happy with it being renewed, you can get it for 230. Yeah, 230. And then a Pixel 7 new 390.
Yeah. Personally, if I were buying one today, I mean, I guess it depends on how much money you got to spend. Today, I'd want to get a Pixel 7, just because the 6 is obviously
2 years old now.
Yeah. And like one of the points of the Pixel is to have all of those years of support. So you kind of you don't want to start out a couple of years down. However, again, you know, my Pixel 6 is doing just fine.
The Pixel 8 is £700.
Yeah. However, that's basically brand new. So.
Oh yeah, but just statement: the
Yeah.
Pixel 8 is £700.
Yeah.
And the Pixel 8 will have software support until 2029, 2031, something like that. It's ridiculously long.
Yeah.
They've committed to like 7 or 8 years for it.
Which is odd for Google.
Software updates. Pixel 8 and 8 Pro, October 2030. Yeah. So 7 years of updates. So obviously that means even if you buy it next year, you have 6 years of software updates for it. That's where it becomes good.
Yeah.
Is you can buy last year's phone and know that you have software updates probably basically for the life of the phone.
Yeah. Like, who's going to run a phone for more than 3 or 4 years? As an enthusiast, anyway, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a phone enthusiast, and I'm still going to, you know, yeah. I might retouch that lower capacitor because that's a little bit... It's got a good join, it's just ugly.
Yeah, it's the thing for me that is slightly annoying is that the Pixel 6 and 7 aren't getting the same software support and they're still using Google processors.
Yeah.
And it's just a little bit just like... and also the fact that the Fold's only getting 2 years of security updates. And the Fold was $2,000.
Yeah.
But I get the feeling the Fold is going to get dumped super hard, super fast.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Folding devices, I think we're getting there, but I still have no desire to own one.
Yeah. I think we're going to see I think we are going to see a Fold too.
Yeah.
But next year. I was half expecting him to throw a real dick move and bring out a Fold 2 this October and just be like, LOL, your Fold has been replaced, even though it's only 6 months old.
Yeah. I think the problem is the price on them needs to come down. You know, like the only foldable that's getting any traction is the Z Fold, and that's because it's cheaper.
Yeah, and also the Razer.
Oh yeah. I don't know anything about the Razer foldable.
No. Huawei are on their 5th foldable generation. I can't remember how much it was. AliExpress.
I'm gonna touch that cap. Just waiting for the iron to come back up to temperature. I'm going to try and do this without flux, and I'm probably going to regret it. There's too much solder on it, that's the problem. Let's see if I can wipe some off. Okay, that'll need more flux.
Oh yeah, the Huawei X5, Huawei Mate X5 is still like $1,900 on AliExpress. Which is a lot.
This cap is right on a ground plane, so it's really difficult to get a nice finish on it. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. It's not visually spectacular, however, that is soldered on properly, which is what actually matters right now. This will all be covered up, so, you know, it don't need to look pretty, it just need to be on properly, and that is on properly.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's the Mate 60 Pro that's like £900 now.
That's three figures instead of 4.
Which isn't terrible. But yeah, it's not a folding phone,
Right.
but the Mate 60 Pro isn't a folding phone, it's just the newest Mate, which is the slab phone.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is good.
Oh god, what is the timer on? Oh, 3 hours, that's not too bad. I saw a 3 and I was like, I bet we're on like 350. So yes, we actually have half a shot of getting this to the finish line. Right, okay, so...
Do you want to put in the rest of the screws just holding the front onto the PCB?
Right, so yeah, just put in these screws. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm basically just entrusting you with all of the testing on this. So tell me what you want and I will do that.
Yeah, just because we just want to make sure that holds. And we've got, you know, a degree of mounting pressure.
Yeah, because we're not going to hit this with a full load, but we do actually want to make it do something now.
Yeah, just to make sure it doesn't artifact all over the place.
Oh yeah, yeah, it could still ruin our day. Like
yeah, but you've got some screws in there, so that's all.
Yeah, yeah. Like it looks like we fixed it, but as soon as we hit it with a driver and try and make it do something, it might just green artifact all over the screen, which is silicon. And if that happens, I'll probably just immediately call it a day, because if we see artifacting, I think we're just turbo dead, aren't we?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next step would be running it through mats and seeing if we can identify which chip has failed, and then replacing that one chip. But you don't have any of the equipment for that.
No. At one point we had a setup for it, but it just wasn't sustainable. I'll plug that in just a sec. Let me just move the soldering stuff.
Yeah. We need to slowly de-stuff the bench again.
Yeah, we got too much kit out, haven't we? Ugh. Right. Input.
There's a GPU in my GPU.
Oh. Is that a 4080 in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
No, it's a 3080 Ti.
All right. That needs tweaking.
Did you unfortunately
I dropped the
somewhat damage the tweezers?
Yeah, however, it's it happens. Like, even if I don't drop them, sooner or later they always get bent, so you just become accustomed to just adjusting them. But the more times you've straightened the tips of the tweezers, the more fragile they get, and then it gets to the point where they just won't go straight anymore. Okay. I've played Lords of the Fallen. No, I'm not. A lot of people don't seem to like Lords of the Fallen, and apparently the level design is bad. I am interested in playing Lies of P, though, because apparently that's extremely good, and any Dark Souls enjoyer will have a good time with Lies of P. So that's on my radar. Okay. Right, that's you. I think I'm going to take down the scope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll lay that for a sec.
I need a big flat head.
Big flat. Stand by.
Bigger.
Like mega big.
Yeah, because I need to undo those.
For the stoppers, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah.
Bigger.
It's the handle that's the problem.
Speaking of handles.
Where are my tools?
Yeah, where the Jeffries is the Proxon? I thought it was in the thing, but it's not in the thing.
I cannot assist with this conundrum.
Did I leave that over here? No. There's the yellow handle.
Is it in the Corsair case that you were doing stuff?
I just went over there to have a look because I thought it might be, but it's I'm not seeing it there. What the hell? How is that what I can do? Oh, okay, it's nearby. I was using it to tighten the stool at the start of the stream.
Ah, I see.
So, where did I put it down? Oh my. Oh.
That is...
Okay, right. Backup coming in just so we can progress.
I need to move that blob of water so I can read the text.
Why is there a blob of water?
Out. Inside the water block.
Oh, good, yeah. Right, you can use that to get the things off
Ah, yes.
while I find this sodding screwdriver. I tightened the thing at the start. Yeah, there it is.
There you go.
Better screwdriver.
Ah. Yeah, that's not going to work either.
Ah, very well. Huzzah? Huzzah. Good. All right.
That is blocked. That is blocked. Good.
Mm. Salt and Sanctuary has been on my radar for a very long time. I'm aware there's a second one of it, but I want to play Salt and Sanctuary before Salt and Sorcery. It's got some very cool concepts in it, that game, that I very much like the look of. I should have played Salt and Sanctuary coming straight out of Blasphemous, because Salt and Sanctuary and Blasphemous are, you know, two peas in a pod in a way. But yes,
I slightly dribbled on the top of the block.
I see. I will come in and wipe your dribble.
Thanks.
There we go. Oops, I might have just put some thermal paste on your nice new block.
Oh dear.
I apologise for nothing. All right. Okay, right. I'm going to skim down the chat while Carol... Oh, hang on a sec. I'm going to get the scope out of the way. We've got too much stuff on the bench. Time to simplify. Huh. I'm wondering, yeah,
About?
yeah, just wondering, next time we're doing like soldering work and stuff like that, it might be worth just getting to a position where we can just like, where we can just have the cameras on the other bench so we don't have to move equipment over here.
Yes.
Because I think we could very easily achieve that. Just thinking out loud. All right, there we go. That's done. That's rubbish. That's all rubbish. Capacitors.
That is too long.
Tweezers will go back in there. Capacitors. Oh, no, that goes in that bag.
Oops.
All right.
You are too long.
Okay, right. Lots of the fallen asleep. Oh no. All right, this stool is driving me up the wall. It's incredibly squeaky, but I'm not dealing with it right now. Okay. You might just buy them for me. Kind of want me to play them. I mean, I'm not going to ask you to, but you're welcome to, if you know what I mean. So yes.
Do you understand English?
I do not beg for anything. However, gifts are always gratefully accepted. Is that the same stool that you didn't deal with when I was there? I'm not sure. I promise nothing. I'm going to move the soldering equipment while Caradog carries on.
Committing crimes.
I see. That bad, is it?
No. I was cutting tubing on the top of the graphics card, though.
Ah, I see, yes. That certainly is criminal. On the other hand, though, we do so many crimes on this show that, yeah. I think sometimes that's a good thing. Because, you know, like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of value in doing a job properly. But also, I think some people can sometimes get very het up on doing a show quality job kind of thing, where it's like, this is not a bad thing, but it's also not necessary.
Okay, that's on, that's on, that's on. I require the longer one.
I bought some of those Type-C cables with the built-in watt meter on them.
Oh, yeah.
They're kind of neat.
Yes.
Most of my chargers have got like an amperage output on them anyway, but it's just interesting to just get a quick at-a-glance readout.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Good. You go in.
Like that.
That.
I'm actually going to tighten this stool again. I can't. I just can't.
And that goes on there.
I am at present unable to.
It comes all the way over to here. On you go. On you go. There we go.
Oh. The stool is just going to break. I must have missed one of these screws. Ah, there we go. That one's super loose. That's the one I missed at the start of the stream. Has that weld snapped? Yeah, that weld is snapped.
That'll do. Nicely. Right, where did the cone go? There.
I'm going to quit while I'm ahead with that stool. It is beginning to end. Is there anything I can do to help, or are you cruising?
I think I'm good.
All right, I'll just let you carry on.
Ah, I realise I need the thingy to do the power supply, possibly. Yeah, I will do, because I'm not going to power up the board. It's back on the wall.
Oh, right, yeah, one sec. Someone whose name I didn't catch before I walked away said, how can I reliably get a good USB Type-C cable?
Depends on how much you're willing to spend.
WTF Shelley. Yeah, it depends on how much, yeah.
Because...
I was going to say, I would advise... well, you go first.
I was going to say, if you want guaranteed, will 101% be good, no faults, amazing manufacturing, etc., yada, 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 buy the Apple Thunderbolt 4 cable. It's £120, but it is a good cable.
Yeah.
Second point, if you want it to be good enough,
Yeah.
if that makes sense, like, it's not going to disintegrate in a month, buy from the brands that are starting to become known, like Ugreen, Anchor, the other one I always forget the name of,
Yeah.
Watobi.
Yeah, I was going to say
Those sorts of little
Watobi,
brands.
we've been buying those, and those have been pretty good for transfer speed as well, not just charging. So yeah, the other giveaway that I look for when I want to buy a high data speed cable is I don't search for USB Type-C cable, I search for Thunderbolt 4 cable, because that specifically excludes charge-only cables, theoretically.
Do you know what you should do?
What should I do?
Plug in the bloody pump for it to actually work.
You're only supposed to power the bloody pump.
There you go. Might magically work now. Oh, look at that. Good.
All right, we're on our way. Sheesh. Hasn't come on.
Damn it.
Yeah. Hang on a minute.
Damn it.
It wants reset over here. Oh, Yeah, oh yeah, look, I touched it and it came on. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's this.
Please continue touching it.
Okay, I'm going to unplug it because I'm not comfortable with the power. I'm not comfortable with the power supply doing that. Is there another one of these?
You pulsed it for sufficiently long enough for the water to not leak.
I see. Oh, there we go. I just pushed one of the connectors like back into it properly. That'll be why it was dodgy. Right, let me just run that again.
Other way round?
I'll other your way round in a moment.
Very well. I usually charge extra.
All right, that seems to be stable. What is that? Oh, that's stuff that's come out the card. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of tinted water just came out of the graphics card block. Oh, look at it go. It's on its way. Lead farmer, I'm not sure if that's a joke or not. Do the Welsh make grape juice? Was that a typo or was that just a really good joke?
I love this.
Oh, the weird squiggly, yeah.
There you go.
All
That
right.
is now basically full.
I'm gonna.
Now we do a wiggle. I was actually going to stand this up now.
Oh, fair enough. Yep. I'll
Because
let you
then-
do that. That's not a
because
two-man
then
job.
that will hopefully get the air bubble out the GPU.
Grand joke. Yep. Good.
And then if I go, yeah,
Ooh, there's a lot of gurgling. That's a good sound.
there we go.
That's surprisingly violent. It's all going.
Also, look at this air bubble
God, yeah.
bouncing. There you go. There we go.
Oh, then there was silence. Okay. The washing machine going full spin. And yeah, it was loud because there was a lot of air in the loop. And also it was,
There was also air stuck in the pump,
yeah.
but like only like 80%
Also,
stuck.
the pump was trying to push on an air bubble, which it could not, which was compressing. So the pump was at a high head pressure, which was making it sound very laboured.
There you go.
Whereas, yeah, now there's less air in the system. It's now just flowing instead of at high head pressure.
What have I got this caught on? Oh, I've fed the power cable through the fan.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we just found some more air.
There you go.
All right.
Fine. This will have to live over here then.
There's a lot of turbulence in the res that's making a little vortex in there that's actually pulling in air.
Oh boy.
It-
I'm actually going to go. There you go. The rest of that can sort itself out.
Cool. All right, we've got enough to actually turn it on and give it a run.
CPU fan. Whoop. Good, 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 good. For posterity. Stay.
Will the rad go over to where we normally put the AIO rad?
Yes. I was just needing to unplug it
Yeah.
because it was caught in all of the stuff.
Yeah.
However, that should loop reasonably smoothly. There you go.
All right.
That will go over there, that will go over there. That's not in the way, that's not in the way. Good, good, good. Please. Ugh. Right. Yes, because this power cable was run through the fan connectors.
Yes.
So that's out, that's fine.
Okay.
That's on. That's fine. That then goes.
Now comes the scary bit.
Oh!
Sorry, that's us over here. I hate the way the power light LEDs come on for a second and then fade out, and it just looks
there you go,
incorrect.
posted.
But yeah, it posted straight away, but it just freaks me out. It'll clear. It'll clear.
We have a picture.
Let's see. Right. Let's capture with face, I guess.
There you go.
We output. Yeah, we're outputting from the card now. So yeah, now
Yeah.
we need drivers, and yeah, we can actually start. Ooh, it just went off. Please be installing a driver. It's back. It. Ooh. Oh. 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 Oh.
My conniptions. My conniptions have conniptions. I'm conniption squared.
Gives me conniptions. Woo. Woo. Video capture device. I'm just going to get the bench cam up as well, maybe. What's the bench cam on? That's on Insta360 link. There it is.
Hello, hardware monitor. Would you like to open? There we go.
Right, where can I put the... actually, I'll kill the bench cam because it's not actually showing us anything
We
care about.
have no temperatures reported in the hundreds. This is good.
Oh, okay, yes, good. I was going to say, no temperatures reported is a concern. Matt, we've still got a vortex forming in the res that's pulling in air.
What?
I guess put a bit more liquid in there?
That's also what that little mesh is for. You know, that little mesh, like, block that's about this?
Oh, right, yeah.
Because it goes in
kill
there and
vortexes?
it forces, obviously,
Yeah.
the vortex can't form all the way through it.
Yeah.
Good enough.
There we go.
There you go. Right.
All right, so...
Oh, I didn't plug that in.
I'm going to move us over to here because the numbers we care about are on the right-hand side of the screen. So just to clean up on the graphics card, fixed it. Basically, yes. Everything else was we resoldered the components that were corroded because it's quite likely it would have been fine, but theoretically, if there's corrosion under the components, they can continue to deteriorate over time. So while theoretically we'd won this as soon as we'd cleaned off the graphics card, but what we've now done is ensure that it is a long-term fix. We can block this card back up and we can be reasonably confident that this graphics card will not have any more complications later on in its lifetime due to this corrosion. So yeah, so theoretically just the toothbrushing did the job, but yeah, the extra steps we took have just ensured that we're good long term. Because yeah, those were some pretty sketchy looking solder joints once we took off the corrosion, so that was not ideal. Okay, right. Have we got temperatures on the VRMs as well? because it would be nice to, because we're not confident about the power stages. Like we're not planning on maxing this card quite yet, but it would be nice to know that the power stages aren't sitting at 100 as well.
Yes, but also they're doing 19 watts.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Which is like 2 watts a power stage, which even at 1% efficiency.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do you want to shut up?
Yeah.
Really pump.
I'll power cycle the pump. That'll probably settle it.
Right. Did
Yeah,
we get the
bit
random
giggly.
other probe from somewhere?
Oh yeah, the liquid temperature probe. Yeah, that'll be oh,
Yeah, there you go.
looking-
Water temperature is like 29C.
Nice. I'm surprised it's that high, if I'm honest. But then it has got a CPU and GPU on it now, so yeah.
We're installing the driver and it hasn't wet the bed, so
Yeah.
it's a good start.
Good. Okay. Yeah, this will be a happy result because I have to. When we first started taking the block off, and I couldn't see any visible issues around the power input area, just immediately I was like, "Uh-oh, I don't know if we've got anything to work with here." But like, yeah, as soon as we got to the other end and we saw that corrosion, I was like, "Hell yeah, that's our problem." Only way to actually get VR temp readings is engineering labs people. Oh really? Yeah. Or if you access the I2C bus. I'm surprised that that just doesn't get passed through if you have power stages. You would, like motherboards these days, the power stages pass back their VRM temps.
Yeah, but Nvidia says no.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks Nvidia. Yeah. Water temp won't be 29 if the GPU's at 21. That's reasonably possible. Unless the... yeah, this is true. Yeah, we'll take these with a pinch of salt then. Okay.
I'm going to go custom.
What are you going to throw at it?
Non-full screen. There. Borderless window, that's what I wanted.
Yes.
Extreme. High.
Extreme.
Because I wanted to be able to easily do that.
Yeah, superposition hates being tabbed out of. That's one of the big drawbacks of it. Here we go. Oh, I'm just going to make sure we've got... yeah, good. We're not getting any noise back from it. Because otherwise it's going to start playing the somber music of superposition at full tilt piano going... Dun, 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 dun. That happened in a video I was recording once, and I couldn't hear it, but the capture card was capturing it into the recording. So when I got to the editing, I was like, so now we're going to do this. And I just had somber piano at full volume over my voice. And I was like, guess I'm muting this section then, you know. We have FPS, but no picture.
I broke it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you might just have to restart it and not touch it. Are we getting a load? You did actually quit the first benchmark then, didn't you?
quit out.
Oh, I see. Yeah, cool. Right. Yep. Okay. Right. Yep.
I think I clicked on it and it crashed.
There we go.
There we go.
And there's our somber piano music. I don't think you can tab out of superposition.
Yeah, I was making sure that the GPU and memory clocks went above 200, and they
Yeah.
did. So it's fine. But it's weird that you can't do it even when it's on borderless window.
Yeah, that is annoying. Yeah. Have you got Heaven? Heaven will let you just run windowed, and that will be good enough for the. Considering we're trying to confidence test here, Heaven will be good enough. And Heaven will actually run windowed as well. It probably won't be able to max the card, but it should at least be able to give it a thrashing, or at least make it sweat. Firmark's no good. Modern graphics cards will just throttle on Firmark. Secret hardware bot tweaks. Why do you have Valley? Because Valley runs on a Mac.
Because I downloaded all of them.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. I also have that Valley just because there's a Mac version of it. It's one of the very... there's actually very few stress tests that you can easily run on a Mac. And Valley is one of them. So...
Where is GPU clock? Ah, there. Core clock.
Yeah.
Shown on screen display.
Sure.
Memory clock.
Just hardware info with Heaven. Like...
There you go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It now means that something will definitely show because I was just installing Heaven whilst I was doing it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Heaven
fair
was
enough.
installing in the
Oh,
background.
right, yeah, yeah.
And I was just
okay.
like, something will tell me.
Sure.
Something will do what I'm
yeah,
telling
okay.
it to.
I can say, like, because Heaven will work, I know it will. Okay, right. Now we actually, yeah, okay. Now we're cruising.
There you go.
There we go. Good. All right, we have a load. Okay, well that looks very promising. That's not immediately wetting the bed.
Yeah. And it's not immediately artifacted everywhere.
Let's
I like
see.
that this is causing near full CPU boost. It must be at 4.95 gigahertz.
Single thread, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. I can't read this GPU temperature very well. Is that 37 I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to heat soak over time, obviously, but still, that's a pretty good start point.
Yeah. A little ball of water is slowly growing.
Yeah, where the water where there's just a bit too much water in the loop, and where the water is expanding as it heats up, it's starting to slowly eke out the top. I'm going to just soak a bit of it up, just so we don't have to deal with that. Oh, it's warm to the touch.
Yes, there we go.
There we go. Right, that should do that. Right, how high do we reckon we can get the temperatures on this? Do we, like, because normally I'd be like, I want to see something above 50 degrees to make sure that it doesn't fall over once it gets to a quote-unquote working temperature. But under this loop, we'd have to actually give it the beans, wouldn't we? I don't think Heaven is going to get this card past 50 degrees without like an hour of burn-in.
Yeah.
Or unless we hit the CPU at the same time. Oh, that'll do it, yeah. We've just unplugged the radiator fans, so we should actually get some artificial temperature now. Superposition 4K or 8K, yeah. I mean, yeah, we could probably be so bold as to actually... Yeah. Can you get a... if you tab into hardware info now, so we actually get power draw.
It has gone down here. Hold on. I think. Has it?
Or did you quit it?
Oh no, I actually closed it.
Yeah. Yeah, because depending on how much power draw we've got, depends on how much I care at this point. If we're only pulling like 100 watts, then I'm going to be like, yeah, can we, let's...
342.
342. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, 350 peaks out of a 3080 non-TI. That's pretty good going. We're still bleeding water. I'm going to set some more up. I mean, I guess the water will be heating up big time now because we've got no cooling on the water.
Yeah.
What's our core temp at?
Not sure. 46.
46. Okay, yeah. I don't think it matters at this point. Yeah. Yeah, because like if this were air cooled, I would still consider it to be stone cold. And I just like seeing the temperature get to like 60 or 70 degrees, just so we know that it doesn't fall over once it gets to a working temperature.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we're water cooled, we're kind of under different circumstances.
Yeah.
Ooh. Long stream. Yeah, I was going very slowly with the soldering rework. But yeah, functionally, it looks like this card is completely fine. Given that we've had 350 watt peaks out of it, we know that the VRMs are actually functioning in that case. You know, they're not going to fall over as soon as there's some load on there. And we don't really want to stress the card until we've actually put on the back block and like redone the thermal pads and stuff. So the question now is, are we gonna do a proper mount with the block on, now on stream? We're at 3 hours and 40 minutes, so we could probably shut it down and block the card properly. Do we want to do that?
I would say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, 347 peak.
Yeah, that's fair, because it's going to take ages to block the card properly is my concern.
Yeah, we're also going to need to replace the thermal pads.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. Like, yeah, doing all the thermal pads and such like is...
Which arguably means eBaying or Amazoning new ones.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some thermal pads kicking around.
I've just no idea if they're the right thickness.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we need to check what thickness we need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Yeah, no, that's a job for another day then, because we need to check what thicknesses we need, make sure we've got the right ones and stuff like that. Because, yeah, at this point, we need to actually make sure this card is actually properly rebuilt. So,
it's somewhat disappointing that it doesn't have any power slider.
Yep. Shut it down and end the stream. Yeah, I agree. I think we've done everything that we realistically can do at this point. So yeah, however, this is a great result. Yeah. Once again, cherry-picked easy jobs for a stream. This is not I'm a genius graphics card repair technician. This is just once again, I think the moral of the story here is liquid damage isn't always scary. Have a look and go from there is kind of what I would always say to people. Luck that no resistors were bad. We've got other graphics card. We could have stolen other resistors and stuff.
Yeah, 345 watt.
Sweet. What resolution is this?
1080p extreme.
Okay, yeah. Can we have a recap of the fix? Yep, so we took the water block off and we found corrosion on one of the 12 volt input current sense resistors, possibly the memory 12 volt input. We would have to look deeper into the card to see which one it is, but we didn't get as far as schematics and board view because we found corrosion, we cleaned it off, then we reflowed the pads and replaced the capacitors that were looking in poor condition. The main thing was just corrosion on a 12-volt input that was causing it to think it was busted. So yeah.
Yeah, it quite possibly is memory, just because it does seem to be on a separated plane.
Yeah. Front side pads 2mm, back 2.5. Cool. That's probably what we'll get then in that case.
Nice.
So yes. Please remember to drop ship your GPUs to Adam for a repair. Please don't. Please do not send me your graphics cards.
Please please donate your working graphics cards.
Yes. Anything that I receive without having been spoken to first, I will assume is a gift. Cool. Right, so this is 1080p Extreme benchmark. A 3080 vanilla should get 10,000-ish on this.
Yeah.
So we're
this in theory should get a smidgen higher, just because
it's going to boost harder.
Yeah, it should have fractionally lower temps, and it appears to have a higher power target.
I was going to say the power target looks very aggressive for a 3080 non-TI, because the 3080 vanilla is 300 watts, I think, isn't it?
Not sure actually.
Yeah, and this is looking for 350.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's sagged a little bit down to 1950, but yeah, 10500 is my guess. I'm guessing 10500. Your 3080 Strix was 11200. That's very high. Was that overclocked though? So yeah, that must be overclocked, because yeah, a standard vanilla 3080 is about 10,000, because the 3080 Ti is about 12,000. Stock boosting to 2075. Yeah, 2075 is quite a big boost clock. Wow, 12127.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's a fast 3080.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of the time when I see a 3080 non-TI, I'm just like, that's a shame it's not the TI, but that may as well be a TI. It's performing as a TI.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, it
All
doesn't list what the... oh no, it's GPU-Z that does, isn't it? Anyway, nice.
Cool. Right, that's about all we got time for then in that case, I think. We'll leave this set up, and I'm going to have a chat with the customer before we do to find out where we're going next, and just say this, because also the thing is remember folks, I charge for solutions. So what I will now say to the customer is, we have found a fault, we can solve it, it will cost this much. Would you like to buy my solution? And if he buys the solution, then we'll rebuild the card and all the rest of it. If he turns around and says, oh, actually, I don't want it, I've bought another graphics card, I'm not going to bother rebuilding the graphics card.
Would you buy it off of him?
I would try to. I can't see a world where he's not going to buy a fix. However, we have not quoted and he has not agreed to pay any money. Therefore, I'm not going to commit to any further work until he has committed to buying a solution. As I say to people, because the problem is you have to do diagnostics to figure out if you can fix something. So what we're doing is we have found a solution. Now I need to try and sell that solution. When I've sold the solution, I will implement it. So yeah. That's as far as we'll go in that case. Because reblocking the card is going to take ages. So I want to make sure that he's happy with that. Like I said, I can't see a world where he's not going to get this fixed, because that's a great graphics card.
Yeah.
It obviously makes sense to go for it. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Right, so that's everything. That is a lucky card. It sure is. Good. Right, thank you everyone for tuning in. It took a while, but I hope that was interesting. So yeah, we've looked at it, we cleaned up corrosion, then we cleaned up the pads and replaced some capacitors just to make sure that it's a lasting fix. Card needs reblocking, which is a pain in the ass, and I really am not looking forward to doing that, because I hate blocking cards. But it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed this conversation in English.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll see
This
you
has
next
been a
week with
stream.
something else. HarrisCon, thanks for the £5. Another fun stream, many thanks to all. This £5 is toward next week's cider kitty. Much appreciated, my dude.
Excellent.
That'll pay for the electricity to heat up the whatever the mold cider. Yeah, we need to figure out what we're going to do with that. How are we going to heat that on? Can we heat that on stream?
In an air fryer.
No. I'm kind of tempted to buy like a 40 quid induction hob for the shop just in general, just so there is a hob in the shop.
Yeah.
So like I might see if I can find one for 40 quid, and then we can just have a little hob and just heat it in there.
Yeah.
That'll be kind of fun.
One of the hopefully actually 3 kilowatt ones.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't need it to be 3 kilowatts, but
as opposed to one of the ones that's like 400 watts.
Yeah, 400 watts is bad. Yeah. We'll have a look. I don't know. Anyway, get a single induction plate. Yeah, something along those lines. We're out of here. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you want to hear more of my dumb voice, you can hear it tomorrow at 7 p.m. UK time, twitch.tv/Nethasem. If a mod could do the thing, please. I will be continuing my playthrough of RimWorld. And we'll see. That was amazing, GG Brothers. Thanks a lot for tuning in, everyone. And thanks for the supports.
Indeed.
Good.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to hit stop streaming now. Bye, y'all.
Excellent.
Plus for everyone. That has been linked. Thank you to whoever it was that did that. I think it was Celtac.
Indeed.
Bye.